Hi, this is Bruce Kulick, and you're listening to Shout It Out Loudcast with Tom and Zeus. These guys know Kiss inside and out. They freak me out all the time. You're going to enjoy it. The episode is epic.
Oh, boy. Here we go. This is Gene Simmons. Put that cookie down. Kiss. Stop pressing the button. Stockbroker Simmons. Star? Paul Stanley. Is that what he does? Stop shouting.
He's not what you would call a handsome man.
Oh, no. Here come the Kiss times. Is that a positive thing? Okay. All right. I'm going to grab me an ice cold mellow yellow. Okay.
Why do that to the fan?
Stop it. Why?
Because fuck him.
That's wrong. What are you talking about? 617-525-0850. You do? Hey, fucko. Do you like Kiss? Settle down.
Hello. Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast, episode 175. Crazy Nights, album review time.
Oh, yeah. And I'm staring at that beautiful glass cover of Crazy Nights. Oh, Ooh, nice thong, baby. Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah. I'll fight hell to hold you. Oh.
Don't start with that shit already. Tom, what's going on?
Nothing, man. Less than by the time people hear this, less than 2 weeks to Creatures Fest. Woo!
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I might want to prepare, huh?
Dude, I can't keep track of anything. I can't believe it's May 11th. We're recording Wednesday, May 11th. I'm like, what the fuck? It's unbelievable.
Ooh, snap. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, snap is right.
All right. Well,
All right.
let's get to this episode. It ain't going to be short.
No.
So
It won't be? Is it going to be as long as our new Zeppelin Chronicles that dropped this week, too?
Zeppelin Chronicles wasn't that bad, Tom. It was under 3 hours.
How does 4 people talk about Led Zeppelin 2 in less time than 3 people talk about fucking Heat?
Because we had to think of all the synonyms for this sucks. And who fucking picked this?
Nice.
Yeah. And then read the fucking burner accounts on the reviews for it afterwards and comments.
There's plenty of burner accounts we'll be reading tonight, I think, too.
Oh, yeah. Burner accounts. Ooh. Gassy. All right, Tom. Last time we did an episode, we talked about what?
We talked about Poison's debacle of a cover of Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss. I'll tell you right now, the feedback is going to be rather quick because it was very similar. It was like, yeah, you're right. This sucks. No, this doesn't suck. Did you hear fucking Samson and Delilah's cover of fucking Parasite? No, we didn't. But the poll was, is this the worst cover?
Yeah.
64% no, there's worse. 36% said hell yes. And then, of course, a lot of people chiming in with what's worse. Like our buddy John Ristano saying Cher's cover of A World Without Heroes. This is a good one. Our buddy Ken and Satan Service, Peter Criss covered Send in the Clowns. Oh, Jesus. But we got multiple votes for Motley Crue doing Like a Virgin. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Just thinking about that makes you go like, who the fuck came up with that idea?
I didn't even know that was a thing. Many, many people said, have you listened to Toad the Wet Sprocket on Kiss My Ass? Yes, we talked about that during the episode.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of that was to come up with something different and a bunch of alternative bands from that era to do something.
And that was my defense of them.
Not fucking the Thompson twins doing fucking Harvester of Sorrow, right?
Jesus. Human League doing Master of Puppets.
Spandau Ballet doing fucking peace cells.
There you go. 80s new wave goes thrash. Hey, look, we got fucking Men at Work doing fucking Symphony of Destruction.
Oi, Eddie Grant now.
Eddie Grant doing fucking Raining Blood. Oi! Oi! What the fuck? 5 minutes in, already off track. Then we got a lot of votes for Nirvana doing Do You Love Me. That is horrendous.
Yeah.
That obscure Kiss cover album called Hard to Believe. I had that on CD. I bought that at Tower Records in Burlington, Massachusetts.
The issue is I think they were doing it as a goof.
I think so too. Yeah, Kurt was a big Kiss fan, but that was a big goof.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a fun episode. We had obviously we had a blast talking about it, and we love the fact that we got tons of people chiming in on comments, agreeing with us. We had some people saying, "I didn't even know that Poison did rock and roll night. Thanks for ruining my life by telling me." So yeah, those are that's some Twitter stuff. Again, it was a lot of back and forth about yes, it's the worst, no, it's not. Have you heard this? Whatever. So lots of comments, and we loved all of it. So
yeah, on the Book of Face, Tom, I'm going to zip through some of these. I can't get through all of them. There was a ton of feedback.
It was great.
Chris L. of
That's right, Pod of Thunder. Yeah, Chris.
Got to be Everclear doing The Boys Are Back in Town.
Oh, dude,
Heresy,
the Pod of Thunder boys.
Abomination.
The Pod of Thunder boys hate Everclear.
I don't think that's that bad. Just thinking about the band and the song for them to do it, it's probably them toning down to do that song.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, they have similar styles.
Yeah.
Nicolino put a fucking picture of a grown-ass Shaq and Alexa Bliss, who goes up to literally his ball sack.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that started a whole other conversation going on last week's episode. Our buddy Kevin Jepson.
Yeah, Kevin.
Would you rather listen to this awful cover or be in the same room as Nina Hartley getting high on gaggles of cock?
Oh, God.
With those nasty snapper flaps.
Oh, boy.
Oh, pew. Gross.
God almighty. Thank you, Kevin, for that visual.
Thank you. Tony Smith asked, do you like Poison? And I replied, no.
No.
Brad Rustaven gave us a nice long thing about it's not a good cover. It sounds. Well, I know Brad's kind of a fan of Poison as well, though.
Oh, by the way, real quick, the one thing about this episode, it really brought the Poison fans out of the woodwork. What are you talking about? This cover's great. Bret Michaels sounds fantastic. Oh, God.
Yep. Mike Murphy, me listening to Tom Zeus describe Nina Hartley's treadless snapper flaps. What?
Treadless. No tread on those tires, baby.
Yeah. Ryan Michaels, fucking Scott Clark, fucking
Spencer Cook.
Thank you. I never heard this cover. It's awful. Great episode. Another unique topic. The last 3 weeks have been so good. Perfect example why Loudcast is the best Kiss music podcast.
All right. Thanks, buddy. That's awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I should have made him fucking comment of the week. Good God. That was an awesome one.
That was good.
Yeah. Anyway, Mark Flores Music. We love him.
Yeah, Mark.
Next time someone tries to sell you that Kurt Cobain destroyed hard rock, remember this track.
Oh,
this is the kind of crap that was popular before Nirvana hit.
Mm-hmm.
This were rebellious rock and roll outcasts who were ready to fight and look at the fuck. Poison are the Care Bears.
Oh, I love that. What a great description.
Oh, he's fucking great.
That's a good comment.
Stephen Stacy, my vote goes to Motley Crue's Jailhouse Rock.
Oh, is that a thing?
That. Yeah, it is. It's bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Over on Loudcasters, Tom, Michael Christopher says, anytime you guys dunk on Poison like Sean Kemp in the 90s, it's great listening. This song sucks, and so does Poison. Great show, guys.
Oh, that's an awesome comment. Anytime we can get some 90s NBA reference in there, love it.
Yeah, and then in addition to that, Brian Rule put a fucking gif of Sean Kemp dunking where his balls end up in someone's face.
Dude, Sean Kemp fucking kicked ass in NBA Jam.
Oh, yeah. And then he became 800 pounds and played himself out of the league when he got older. Don Logan put a photo of a young Nina Hartley. Ugh.
You know what I love about those comments? Those guys are listening to the show. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
And Justin Steele says, couple thoughts. I never thought of it as a great version at the time, but I was just happy they did it because they're the hottest band around and people would talk about my favorite band, Kiss. I also knew they were big Kiss fans and were paying respect. I can't believe I'm going to agree with Pooney, but Native Tongue is a great album.
Oh boy.
God. And Richie Kotzen is incredible. Listen to Winery Dogs if you haven't.
Those albums are actually good. I think I agree with Justin. The Winery Dogs albums are good.
And Justin ends with, lastly, Snap-a-Flaps.
Oh, God.
Wow. Woo! All right. We're going to hop on over to YouTube. Jason Leonard. Excellent episode. I really enjoyed the conversation. Great point about Record Store Day. It always surprised me that Kiss, or Universal, isn't getting in on that gravy train. I go every year and drop some serious corn. I'd love to pick up some of my favorite band on RSD. Tom, sounds like we picked up a bunch of the same vinyl. Mr. Benante and AIC were must-buys for me.
Yeah, all right. Nice.
Marty White, I have to be very careful writing this because my girlfriend, who has a steroid problem and built like Lou Ferrigno, is next to me. When I was a kid, I thought Ricky Rocket was the hottest chick in rock. Oops, gotta go. She wants to see what I'm writing. Mr. Antonio 2005. Poison doing this cover in their 1987 glam rock style just doesn't match up well. As a trade-off, Ace Frehley just announced for his new album, Origins Volume 4, it will now include a cover of Poison's Talk Dirt to Me, not to be confused with Talk to Me, says Frehley as he chomps down on some Cracker Jacks.
Oh, dude, I love Ace, but those Origins albums those are a tough listen.
In the days of my youth, I know what it means to be a man.
Is that Robert Kraft singing Zeppelin? I want a red balloon.
We're going to be patriots, and we're all patriots tonight. Jason Ward, another great episode, fellas. Valid points. But to me, your mama don't dance is worse.
That is bad. That's
at least
really
Rock
bad.
and Roll All Night or Original is a good tune. Poison actually made dance worse than the horrible original. Rock and Roll All Night fit the soundtrack fine. It was the 80s. Faith by Limp Bizkit remains the worst for me. Also appreciate the weight loss tip. Get COVID.
That's right.
And then Jason Leonard also adds, that Beavis and Butthead stinger at the end ruled. Freaking hilarious.
Nice.
Hey, I think he's the guy who drives the food truck. Johnny B. Good. Poison can't even do a proper cover of themselves. And then, like you said, Tom, Dale Jones will end it with this. Worst cover song ever, Like a Virgin by Motley Crue.
Yeah, a lot of people chiming in with that one.
You got some emails?
Yep, we got a couple emails we'll fly through here. Let's see. Mike H., our good buddy here. Hello, guys. I mentioned this when you ARC'd a Poison album for some god-awful reason. But Poison had the privilege of opening for Kiss during the reunion tour. The stupid bastards closed their set with Rock and Roll All Night. I couldn't believe it. The stunned faces and dead silence from the crowd said it all. It wasn't a show during a down period for Kiss either. It was the fucking reunion. Who advises these assholes? Oh, nice. Our buddy Daniel LeBlanc sent us a nice big long email. We love Daniel's. He chimed in with a couple of bad ones. A lot of votes for Slayer covering Iron Butterflies in Agata Davida. Not many people like that one. And then he had some funny things to say about the that episode that we the Living Color parody of LL Cool J. Mama Said Knock You Out. That was great. Our buddy Adam Stevenson, love the episode. Hope this is the beginning of a new series. Imagine that. We start picking apart Kiss covers. Talks about Coheed and Cambria doing Love Gun. I've heard that it's really terrible. I knew Poison covered Rock and Roll All Night, but never listened to it until Tom posted about it the other day. I pulled it up on Spotify, made it 10 seconds before turning the trash off. Zeus nailed it, saying how thin the song sounded. Brett's voice didn't have the same weight that Gene brings. It sounded like a basement recorded by Mystery from the Detroit Rock City movie. Just terrible. Keep the laughs coming. Can't wait until next week for my favorite podcast. Yeah, Adam, thank you. And then we got a couple of comments from our website, which is awesome. We love that you guys are going on there. Our buddy Nige, great episode, guys. I never heard the Poison cover of Rock and Roll Night, and holy fuck, it's bloody awful. There are pub bands in the remote Himalayan villages playing better versions than that. Then he gives his kind of discussion about what makes a cover good and bad. Great stuff from Nige. We love you, buddy. And then we got another one from our website from Eric Schwenk. This week's episode was timely. I had recently been thinking you should all do an episode talking about the best and worst covers. Oh, well, that might be a future episode, Eric. Thank you. And thank you for using our wonderful website, shoutoutloudcast.com. Robert Demler. Do you like Poison? No. No. I discovered your podcast when I was trying to figure out the time frame that I originally lost interest in Kiss when I was a kid. The first episode I listened to was your review of Ace's solo album. I had never heard any of the solo albums and was curious if Ace's lived up to the hype. After I listened to the episode, I thought, do these guys even like Kiss? Then he continues, says, I've been listening to you guys for a while and really enjoy your no BS take on things. I've also enjoyed learning about Kiss after I quit listening to them. I don't care for the music they produced after Love Gun, but I love getting to know the history. I look forward to new episodes. The recap of the previous week's episode is always funny as hell. Well, thank you, buddy. And then he goes into kind of talking about Poison and the rock and roll cover. Keep up the great work. Listening to your podcast is like hanging out with old friends who still find the same shit funny as when they were 13. Yes, that is awesome. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Oh, and guess who this email is from, Zeus?
No.
Penelope Red. Oh, congrats on an episode that somewhat caught my interest. There really shouldn't be much controversy about Poison putting out awful material. Why would them attempting a cover song be any different? It may well be the worst Kiss cover ever. I wouldn't know, but I wouldn't categorize as the overall worst. That award should go to Judas Priest for the horrendous rendition of Johnny Be Good. Not sure when the last time you did an actual Kiss album review or a member linked to Kiss. You should probably focus on that. Thank you, Penelope Red, our production manager. And you're happy now because now we're doing an album review. You're right. You got what you wanted, you bitch, even though you're fake.
Yeah, exactly, Pooney. Actually, that song's not bad. I liked it. And back in high school, I remember when Johnny Be Good from Judas Priest is a fucking heavy version of it.
Okay.
From the movie Johnny Be Good, where I couldn't get into it because I can't see the nerd from Breakfast Club and fucking Russ from being all of a sudden now in from Weird Science, also now being the quarterback and the cool kid.
Brutal.
Yeah,
we got a great email from our buddy Scott Wheeler getting hyped up about Creatures Fest and all that stuff. Believe me, we're going to get into it. He actually sent us a picture of him when he met Peter. So that's really cool. We're excited for that.
Yeah.
There's going to be plenty to talk about for that. Then, Zeus, we were talking about this before we started recording. Our buddy David Gann is really fixated on the Ava Gardner taking a shit story. He sent us 2 messages on our website, posted on he's like doing research material on
I don't
whether
see
or
it.
not.
Where is it? Where did you get it? I couldn't find it.
I was intrigued by the talk about Ava Gardner taking a crap in a hotel lobby. I tried researching the subject. All I could find was that she urinated in the foyer of the Hotel Ritz in Madrid. And haven't we done that all once or twice? Then he goes, could you clarify what you know about this? It's very important.
Loudcasters are awesome.
Then he sends another message and says, she was barred from the Hotel Ritz for peeing, but then life was an exhausting round of insomnia, booze, forced gaiety, mood swings, tantrums, and being driven around by a chauffeur while consuming a thermos of gin in the back of a car. The article is very interesting. I think you would enjoy her comment about Sinatra's cock. What the fuck, man? Jesus.
Yeah, I know. It's something like he weighs 140 pounds and and 100 of it is his cock, something like that. I remember. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And then we got a really nice.
And just for the record, I just pointed him where I got that information, and that was from the Bill Maher Club, whatever the fuck he has his new podcast called, where he talked about it with William Shatner.
That's right.
And Shatner is the one who said it to him.
Yeah.
So I gave him a link to that and said, have at it. Enjoy the shit talk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And let's see. We'll finish up our feedback with this one from Chad Copeland. Not the Chad Copeland from Police Academy. I'm Copeland, sir. Chad Copeland. Hey, guys. Been listening for 2 years now. It was mentioned a few episodes ago. I don't know who saved Kiss, but you guys definitely saved Kiss podcasts. I have listened to Kiss in all other music podcasts for the past 8 years, and at this point, many of them have become stale. Shout It Out Loudcast is different, fun, irreverent, and a breath of fresh air. Thank you both. I'll keep listening. If I ever need to smile, I will just think of Zeus in line at Disney World.
It's not the line. It's the
ride.
end. It's the end of that. Yeah.
And that is from Chad in West Texas. And he says, P.S. I'm 49 years old, and Hot in the Shade is by far my favorite Kiss album. I never understood the hate it got from Kiss fans. I love it now, just like I did 33 years ago. Probably why I love listening to you guys so much. Chad Copeland from West Texas. Awesome email. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you taking the time for those awesome comments. Glad you're enjoying the show. And you, my friend, are comment of the week.
Good answer. Good answer. I like the way you think. I'm going to be watching you.
Woohoo! Thank you, Chad.
Awesome. Love it.
Awesome. Did we save Kiss podcasts?
I don't know. If he says we did, then maybe we did. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you guys are fucking saving us because you listeners are kicking ass.
That's
continuing our fucking incredible ride ever since that the Paul versus radio chick thing. We've been on a high like never before.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah. And so
that's
continuing the #1 Kiss podcast ranking. Thanks to you guys. So yeah, we've been on a fucking roll. And thank you guys again for making us the #1 Kiss podcast out there, guys. You guys kicking ass.
Amazing. You guys rock.
Oh, and the other part to this is it's not only the #1 Kiss podcast. We're also one of the top now. We're getting into the rankings, the top rankings in music.
That's right.
Overall.
Yep.
Not just music commentary, but music overall.
Love it.
Thanks to you guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're going to pivot for a quick second to a new advertiser we have. And it is a website called boldfoot.com. It is a family and veteran-owned company that make socks. And they make really cool, kick-ass socks. All crazy designs, crazy colors. They're 100% American-made. Their motto that they like to brag about is grown here, sewn here. It's a family and veteran-owned company. 5% of all the proceeds to every purchase goes to veteran organized charities. Check them out. It's boldfoot.com. We each have a pair of their socks. They're comfortable. They're awesome. They offer a guarantee. They got wild colors, wild designs. Plus, you're supporting an American company that's owned and operated by a family, by veterans, and proceeds go back to them. Check them out. Boldfoot.com. Grown here, sewn here.
Yeah, cool. Maybe we can get Ace to wear his socks and take a fucking photo of them. What do you think?
Perfect. There you go. Absolutely. Yes. Boldfoot.com.
What's the fucking name of that sock company again? Because I got some fucking ones right now that got holes in them. And then the other pair, I fucking dropped a deuce and it fucking stepped on it. And it's got some little shit stains on the bottom of my socks.
Poor Ace. He's going to be a fucking disaster in Nashville.
Hook me up with some Cracker Jacks and a diet slice.
Do they even make slice anymore?
I have got the image in my head that he likes outdated things. Like he doesn't know they're not around anymore. Right? What about a fucking tab?
You guys got any of that Moxie? Shit's fucking great.
Or those fucking Loodle red fucking cough syrup things I used to like to fucking drop those in my vodka bottles.
I like Ludens.
I call them Loodles.
But I also like those kind of Smith Brothers. They're like little fucking cherry candies.
I would take a bottle of Flintstone vitamins and smash them up and fucking do lines of them while taking a funnel of vodka.
You never got high until you sniffed a Pebbles Flintstone vitamin up your left nostril. Fucking amazing.
If you're fucking smart about it, you can even take those Loodle and then put a tube in your ass. You'll get real high fast.
Fucking Ace is the
Hold on, slow down. You guys are giving me great ideas. Let me write this shit down.
Somebody said something about Flintstones. I'm fucking watching them now. I got socks. Betty's hot.
I was just paid as an extra on the new Muppet movie. All right, we got to move on. Tom, one of the people that really like our stupid sense of humor are our Patreon subscribers and fans and listeners. Patreon is where people can join, become part of an exclusive club of Shout It Out Loudcast. And they can join by joining different tiers. Different tiers have different things that we offer. Some are T-shirts, some are stickers, some are appearances, some are voting on things, some are involvement on other issues. One of the big thing right now is we got all the votes in and we've calculated what the next ARC album review pick will be because of the Patreon people. They're always involved. We appreciate them. Their support to us really goes a long way for the show. We got that brand new website, thanks to Patreon and specifically one person's particular. We've got mics, we've got Zooms, we've got all sorts of stuff thanks to Patreon. And that stuff and that contribution is a big help to us. So if you like our show and you want to help us out, there's 4 different tiers. Take a look, see if you like anything, and then come join the fun. You can find it on our awesome new website if you go to our website. And you can also find it on the Patreon app. And in addition to that, also on the patreon.com. That's a great way to support the show. Also, we have our Amazon links on our website. You can support the show there by purchasing things directly from there. That helps the show. All these things are big help to us, and we can't thank you guys enough. We love our Patreon family, and we hope that you guys will continue. And all our new Patreon subscribers, welcome.
Absolutely. You guys kick ass Patreon members. You keep us alive. You keep the show going. Your contributions are amazing. We can't thank you enough. Like Zeus said, you check us out on the website, patreon.com. Download the app. And we want to give a special shout out to one of our super fans of the show and a big
super fan.
Yeah, you're right. That's reserved, but he is a big fan of it. I'll call him big fan. Maybe not super.
Can't call anybody super fan because
okay. All right. Big fan.
Okay.
That's reserved. Big fan of the show and a Patreon supporter. That's our buddy Jeff Kinsley. We want to give him a shout out because he just posted on his Facebook page that he has been named the new bass player for a metal band called the Saints of Death. And he's really excited. They posted something announcing that he's going to be the new bass player. He retweeted it or shared it and said that he's honored to be part of the group. So we're proud of Jeff. He's a proud member of Patreon and a proud member of the Loudcasters. And we want to throw it right back at it and say that we're happy for you, buddy. Rock on. Good luck with Saints of Death.
Nice. Great job, Jeff, man. Congrats.
Awesome.
Tom, we're going to jump and skip on over to Kiss World and find out what's going on over there.
All right, couple things going on right now. They're back in the United States after their South American tour. As we're recording today on May 11th, they're in Milwaukee. So they're back in the U.S. for a couple shows. So that's big news. But there's a couple of other big things that were announced, and it was confirmed that there will be a second Kiss cruise.
Yeah, that's not something we'll talk about it further because I want to get on to this the review for this album, but I'm not a fan of it. I know it's been kind of polarizing and some people love it and other people are like, why are you so jealous? It's not a fucking jealousy thing. You're telling me that we got to pick first, we got our plan and we planned the time out and now we're going to get a tired Kiss band. What if there's another outbreak during that one and then ours gets canceled because somebody gets COVID? We're fucked. So
we're gonna save, like Zeus said, we're gonna save a lot of the extra commentary on that.
This is just some of the reason why I think so.
Yeah.
If you want to do a second Kiss cruise, do it 6 months later.
Yep.
Even though you shouldn't have done it at all when you told us that was the last.
Yep. Agreed.
Whatever.
And then it was announced last week that kind of Gene let the cat out of the bag. There is going to be a Creatures of the Night box set to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the album in November. Gene says it will promising that the set will include demos and behind the scenes stuff, calling it an expanded box set version. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm not happy about that, even though I'm not the super fan of Creatures of the Night. Sorry, can't use it. Beep, beep, beep. Red alert.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not the big fan of Creatures of the Night that everybody else is, like my friend and co-host here, but I get it. I don't know. I mean, I know the 30th anniversary of Revenge is coming up. I know we're not going to get a box set for that. The 45th anniversary of Love Gun is coming up. For fuck's sake, if you're going to do a box set, do that. But that's just coming from me as a Love Gun diehard. But no, it's cool that they're even talking about another box set. I'm glad that the Destroyer thing wasn't a one-off. So that's exciting. Kiss was supposed to be doing a grand opening for a Rock and Brews casino in Oklahoma. Unfortunately, as Paul tweeted the other night, he said on Twitter, to all those in Brahman, Oklahoma, our pilot has told us that the heavy winds and reported wind shear make it unsafe to fly, so we can't be at the grand opening of our Rock and Brews casino. Apologies. We look forward to celebrating with you all during our End of the World tour. So, translation, we didn't feel like going to fucking Oklahoma for the grand opening, so we're blaming a fucking windstorm on it. I don't know. I'm just making that up. I don't know. So there is another Rock and Brews opening up, and yeah, that's about it. The tour's back. They're back in the United States. So let's see what happens from there.
Yeah, on a Shouting Out Loudcast news, Tom, you were recently on Ridiculous Rock Records reviewing Bad Company's debut.
Hell yes. Yes. Love those guys. Love Aaron Martell and Lou. Was so happy that they asked me on their show. I love Bad Company. I love that album. Great guys. Great show. And Zeus, you were also on a show yourself.
Yeah. They all seem to come out around the same time.
Yeah.
So I was on the Potter Than Hell episode where we reviewed a bunch of songs from the 80s. That was a lot of fun with Steve and crew over in Potter Than Hell, because those guys are probably one of our closest, if not the closest podcast friends that we got.
Absolutely.
And another one of our close podcast friend was our buddy Baco. And I was on his sidecast and we talked about everything from politics to Kiss to Take It Up the Bum, baby.
Oh, geez.
If that's the way you want it, baby. And I had a blast with him. He's an awesome, funny guy and another Pantheon brother. I also, Tom, got to see, and I posted it today, our buddy Mike Shue, a legend in Boston for radio. And he's also on Pantheon. He does the Neil Young podcast, Long May You Young.
Yep.
And we had fun. I saw him at the Worcester Red Sox, the minor league team for the Boston Red Sox. My daughter performed with her band, the national anthem there, and he was there. I got to hang with him for the first time. Another big Boston guy. Fucking awesome.
That was great. And we were also lucky enough and excited to be on another podcast, part of the Pantheon family. But as of now, the episode hasn't dropped, so we don't want to spoil anything in case We don't want to steal their thunder. So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't gotten your fill of us on our own show, get ready. We're on other shows. We love it. And we're so grateful to be part of those other shows as well.
Yeah, there's a lot going on at Shout It Out Loudcast, and we're going to try to get all this shit done prior to the big trip for Creatures Fest. Again, a reminder, if you're going to be there, find us. Take a photo with us. Wear your Shout It Out Loudcast gear. We want to see you guys and hang and, share a beer. Let's go.
It's going to be an insane weekend. So please, if you're going, let us know so we can hook up. It's going to be insane.
We'll be there from that Thursday to Monday.
That's right.
Yeah, and they actually just dropped another email while we've been talking, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
They got a bunch of things coming up, so keep on listening. Neil Davis is constantly updating stuff, constantly putting stuff out there. And the big thing he dropped early this week is that Bruce, Vinny, and Ace will be performing together. First time ever.
It's going to be incredible.
This is like the closest thing to Kiss doing crazy shit that we have. And I think it's a once in a lifetime, specifically because the age. And Peter's going to be there. I mean, come on. You guys got to go.
Absolutely. Yep.
So anyway, Tom, let's take a quick break and see if I can char off all the guck off of Ace's feet and give him some new socks.
All right, we're back. I was busy at work helping Paul find a new thong for the remastered cover of Crazy Nights. So, oof.
Paul, over here. Wear one of my thongs I have for you, please. Jesus, super.
Love it.
Anyway, Tom, album review time. I know we don't do these very often anymore, and I love it. And you know why? Because we get to fucking put everything we can and our energy into it and do a great job of fucking breaking shit down, the minutia. Shout Out Loudcast style.
And there's a lot of going ons with this album, so this will be a fun one.
Yeah. The last album review we did was, I believe, Love Gun in the beginning of the year.
That's right.
So Crazy Nights, we're talking the 80s, no makeup. So I know it's not everybody's favorite, but this album is important. And I know it's polarizing. And as we always do, we start with, how did you come into the album?
I'll start with this one. So this is a unique album for me in my history as a fan here, is that I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really have any nostalgic connection to this. I don't recall when I bought it. The only memories I had at the time were the title track, Crazy Nights, and Reason to Live because of the video. In 1987, there was so much going on with music at this time with MTV and with hair metal. And, still some of the other harder rock bands were still around. Obviously, Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, Metallica, of course, had just recently put out Master of Puppets, Tesla, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, all those things. So there was so many things to choose from. And at the time I was like, Kiss, Crazy Nights, that's okay. Reason to Live, I mean, I have it in my collection. We'll get into that, but I don't really have any memory about buying it and putting it on and hearing it for the first time. It's an album, to be honest with you, that probably within the last 20 years, I've probably gotten closer to than in the first 20 years of it being in existence. What about you, Booger?
So Crazy Nights, I'm the opposite of Tom.
Okay, good.
So I was already into Kiss by now. I got right back into Kiss. I was into hair metal. I'm buying Hit Parader. I'm buying Circus. At this point, Kiss is back to being my favorite band in my band because I had the nostalgia of, I used to love these guys a long time ago. I mean, I would say maybe Bon Jovi was close at that time. But Kiss also had Asylum out, Animalize. I had already gone to Detroit and saw my cousin who had Animalize live on and got me back into them. This was the first time that I remembered as being a fan of Kiss that I was waiting for an album to come out and anticipating. I've never had that before.
Really?
Yep. Because when I got into Kiss again, Asylum was already out. So I knew this was coming because I was now buying the magazines. And I remembered everything from the beginning. There's this new album coming out, and it's called Who Dares Wins. That's how much I remember the magazine. And that was the going title at the time. And I remember all the feedback and Paul saying, yeah, this is going to be like some of our older material, like Destroy It.
Oh,
I wish I could count how many times he said it, but he probably wasn't saying that in the 80s, though, much.
Yeah.
But I remember him saying this. And so when it came out, I bought it that day. I listened to it. I liked it. And I got into it right away. And so, again, my first Kiss album that I knew was coming and waited for it and went and bought it. So I do have some nostalgia for this album.
Okay.
I mean, think about it, too. I mean, this is 1987, the probably big crescendo of hair metal and stuff.
I think that's the thing. There was so much going on with MTV and Headbangers Ball and the radio and record stores. And like you said, Circus and Hit Parade. We were listening to so many different things at that time. Like, oh, Kiss, Crazy Nights. That's a good song. Reason to Live. Whatever. Like, I wasn't engrossed in Kiss at that time.
Yeah, I was at this point. Okay. I was right back into them. And, they also had the MTV Most Requested Videos, and they were up there for this. So this was a big deal.
Okay.
So next thing we do, we get into the cover.
Ugh. Jeez.
All right. Go ahead.
Dude, this, first of all, the album title is fucking dumb. Crazy Nights is fucking stupid. The album cover's ridiculous. I mean, it's famous for the back cover with Paul and his fucking blue thong. I mean, it's the broken glass with all the pictures, and Paul's got his fucking little tank top on, and of course, Paul and Gene are on the bottom so you can see them, and poor Eric and Bruce are at the top, flipped upside down. Back cover has the studio shoots. They look, it's 1987. Paul looks absurd. I mean, he looks like he hasn't eaten a meal in a month. He's got that hairy chest, which is bonkers, but it's Paul Stanley 80s. It's not great. It's not great. I mean, we can get into some facts of the covers from our favorite book, Behind the Mask. But, what are your thoughts about what we're looking at here?
Well, I like the fact that they're back to the 4 faces and 4 images on a cover. I mean, it's a theme of Kiss albums, right?
Yeah.
How many times have they done that? They put the 4 kind of iconic images. They're not in makeup, so they got to do something. A cracked mirror, okay. But, Crazy Nights in a cracked mirror, I don't get it, but that's okay. Gene looks the same in this fucking photo shoot, in every video, in every fucking concert from that era.
Yep.
I think he wore that same fucking leather outfit throughout this.
Yep.
Eric looks normal. Paul looks like he's starting to wear wrestling gear.
Oh, the Everlast tank tops.
Yeah,
God.
And the fucking tights.
Yeah.
Tights.
I wear the required uniform. Tights.
Yeah. Eric looks normal. He looks good. Bruce looks kind of normal, but there's no need for that fucking bow tie.
Oh, yeah. It's.
Then let's go into the middle. They have a pose here. And if you go, this is now almost 2 years later. Remember, they were releasing albums almost every fucking year for God knows how long.
Yep.
This is the first time. There's 2 years between Asylum 85 and this in 87 in September.
Yep.
And think of the image and the clothes, the difference in 2 years from that to this. Huge.
And this is, and you were just holding it up. This is also the introduction of the Chikara logo on the album artwork and on Eric's drums.
Yeah. And then we got to talk about the fucking thong.
It's it is, first of all, that on its face is just ridiculous. The fact that he's clearly showing it off. He's got his thumb flipping the jeans down so you can see it. But he has so much hair on his chest and he's so skinny. Like, he looks like the scene in E.T. when they find him in the river and he's all fucking shriveled up and half dead. He's like so skinny, he hasn't eaten a meal in a month. And he's got that mane of hair like an animal. Like,
I will say this.
It's insane looking.
You forgot to talk about the big safety pin that he's got in his fucking...
jeez, I know. There's so much to look at.
I will say this for him. He can pull it off.
He can. Of course.
He looks good. He's in great shape.
Absolutely.
So I look at this as there are certain women that are like, that's fucking disgusting cheesiness. But then there are certain women that are like, love that Burt Reynolds, Magnum PI, hairy chest, mustachioed hair man. Like, that's a real man. And he's in great shape. He's defined here and stuff. And he looks like, I think he looks good. But just the fucking cheesiness of the thong.
Dude,
again, if I could pull that off, and you guys want to see it, I wouldn't.
You would.
But he can pull this off. But it is so like
it's just. But you're right. It's of the time. It's 87. It's of the time.
But Paul can look back and be like, look at me back. Look how fucking great shape I was in, and he's still in great shape. Don't get me wrong.
Of course, yeah.
But there are chicks that fucking probably love this and drool over this, and there's a super fan that probably is too. Yeah. But
the chicks who love this, then they named Nina Hartley.
Yeah. But it reminds me of, oh, you silly hairy man.
Oh,
Let's make love, you silly, hairy little man.
Anyway, the lyrics are in here as well, which I love.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And again, this is the last of the remastered CDs that came out. They didn't do Hot in the Shade when the remasters started getting done over again.
That's right.
Yeah.
And speaking of the artwork, let's get into a couple of funny lines here from Behind the Mask. So Dennis Wollock, the guy who was kind of the art designer for this, he said, Paul came to me and said, I want you to try something with pictures in a broken mirror. He says, I thought the idea sucked. He goes, I've been given some poor ideas in the past that I had to take and make look good. He said, we had photos of the band reflected into a broken mirror that was on the ground. We stood up on a great big mirror and shot straight down. The ones that I did initially had the mirror shattered in a billion pieces and their faces reflected a billion times. Sharp pieces that were jagged and dangerous looking, and I love that. But Paul didn't like it because, quote, well, you can't see my face. And he made me make sure everybody's face size was equal. So we had to go back and get equal pieces of broken glass and tilt them and reflect them. So there was 2/3 of Paul's face and 2/3 of Gene's face. I mean, what the fuck, Paul? Come on, dude. Wow. Oh, yikes. So yeah, you were talking about some background stuff, the CD being the last one remastered.
Yeah, so let's get into the facts. Crazy Nights released September 21st, 1987. So like we said, a couple years since Asylum, at least.
We literally just started our freshman years of high school.
Yeah. And it shot up to number 18.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And went platinum in the United States.
That's pretty amazing for Kiss in 1987 to go platinum. I mean, that's impressive at that time.
Yeah, because at the time, if you think about it, how difficult it was for them to try to not be the older guys trying to get into the young club.
Exactly.
And still come out with a top 20. You know how hard it must have been for them to get to that and be like, you know what? We were so huge.
Yep.
And now we're just a fucking joke. And then to build, it's like Vanilla Ice coming back and getting himself a career.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call them that much of a joke. But you know what I mean? Somebody that was considered like, so over, like no one likes him anymore.
Well, and it was also too, I think at this time too, throughout many points in their career, right, they also had like that authenticity problem where a lot of people like Kiss. They're trying to be Def Leppard. They're trying to be Bon Jovi. Well, no, they had fans. The thing sold a fucking million copies. So, but I mean, the diehards loved it, but it also pulled in a bunch of people who were listening to that style of music in 87. So you could say that Kiss were followers, which they were, but for this particular album, it worked for them at that time.
Yeah. And if you think about it, for them to get back up to platinum, that's fan-fucking.
It is. It's amazing. Yeah. Agreed.
Crazy Nights, which went to 18, is actually the highest charting album for Kiss in the 80s.
That's a little bit surprising only because of the success of Hot in the Shade with Forever and Hide Your Heart and Rise to It. But again, Crazy Nights, the video, and Reason to Live, the single and the video, they were huge at that time. So, but that is still a little surprising for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Lick It Up is them taking the makeup up, that went platinum. Yep. I think
Animalize had Heavens on Fire. You would have thought that song itself would have carried that.
Between Animalize, Asylum, I think Lick It Up, they're all like 19, 20, 21, 22, so they're all close, but Crazy Nights technically went the highest at number 18. Yep. It went to number 4 in the UK, and we'll get into that. This album, for some reason, is fucking, like, in the song title, is huge in the UK. So,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Now, it was produced by Ron Nevison.
Mm-hmm.
Who was famous at the time because he was starting to produce like Ozzy's Ultimate Sin, Heart's album in 85, which was fucking huge. Go ahead.
Dude, he worked on Physical Graffiti.
Yeah.
Zeppelin. I mean, for fuck's sake, this guy's working on Crazy Nights. He worked on Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti, The Who's Quadrophenia. I mean, incredible shit this guy did.
It's all more, but it was engineering stuff, but still.
Oh, no, I know. Yeah, but just.
And your favorite, Tom, he also did the first 3 albums of Bad Company.
That's right.
Yeah, he's been up for Producer of the Year. He's been nominated for several Grammys. So they thought, let's get him and he will help us.
Yep.
And he did change the sound. I will say that. But, that's what they decided to go to, like get an outside guy.
Yeah, and they made a distinct decision to go in that pop direction. They had to. They saw what was selling. They saw what was going on with MTV with the songwriting. We had the great Adam Mitchell on not too long ago talking about the songs that he wrote, the work that he did with Desmond Child on this. Like the flavor of the month or the flavor of the year or the time period was that pop oriented upbeat music that Gene Simmons is on record as saying he didn't like it. He said it was much too happy. He said, "Let's have a good time. I love you makes me want to retch. I think the playing is okay, but it's too pop." Said it was one of his least favorite records of any that we have done.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting comments from Gene. And when we get into the track by track, those comments are even more ironic.
Yeah. And I think that's the part of the problem that probably had some issues is the fact that his schedule was tight. That's what the delay was for the 2 years.
That's right.
And Paul really wanted to work with him.
Yep.
I don't think Gene was there, and Gene and him kind of butted heads. And there's a lot of talk about, between the two of them of, I didn't like his style. And Ron was saying that all Gene did is sit in the back of the studio reading Variety magazine.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
So there was some tension there.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that was a one and done with Ron Nevison. I don't know. Maybe it's fortunate. Depends on where you come on this album.
Yeah.
It's their 14th studio album. It's the second with what I would call the Asylum era Kiss.
Yeah.
That band of Eric Carr and Bruce Kulick. It's the last, like we said, of the remastered series. Phil Ashley plays keyboards on this. Tom Kelly does some backing vocals. I was like, who the fuck is Tom Kelly? Apparently he wrote that awesome song Fire and Ice with Pat Benatar.
Isn't he also the manager of the Minnesota Twins in like 1987 at this time?
I think so. Well, not him per se, but there was Tom Kelly.
Yeah.
And during this time, there's also the story, and we talked a little bit about this when we've mentioned it before with Eric Carr. This is the part, and it's in Paul's book, Face the Music, that him and Eric Carr started having problems. And Eric stopped speaking to him during the tour. And then Paul said, and I don't know who's right or wrong, but at some point, Paul's like, probably like, dude, I'm the fucking boss here, and I'm not dealing with this fucking feeling like shit because you're not talking to me crap. So you're going to fucking put an end to this shit. And apparently they cleared the air, but Paul had to kind of set Eric straight. And a lot of it had to do, if you read Paul's book, because we never really got the account from Eric, about, Eric was just obsessed with the fact that he wasn't the original drummer, and which I don't know, stayed with him for a while. Paul insinuated Eric was drinking more and maybe doing drugs or something, which is not really cool since he's not there to defend himself. And I don't know when the last time Paul talked about it, but this is kind of the stuff that was going around when Paul wrote his book in 2014.
Yeah, that's the problem I have. I mean, I don't like when people make these kinds of allegations and the person is not around to respond to defend themselves. Saying that Eric Carr had started to drink more and been doing drugs, which may have been causing his unhappiness, and saying that he was obsessing over not being the original drummer, which went back to the 1980 Australian tour, like things like that. That's just ugly shit from Paul that I fucking hate.
There's no need for it.
I hate that. It's so nasty and petty, and you know that, God bless Eric, that he's not around to talk about it and refute it or comment on it, and I just hate that. It's an ugly kind of comment, you know.
I think sometimes, and I'm not sure about this, and this is just Monday morning quarterbacking, and you know, this is what we do here on this show.
Yeah,
we shit on Pandemic Paul. We love Paul Stanley, the rock god and the Star Child, but
yeah,
Pandemic Paul gets to us. And I think a little bit has to do with the fact that over the years, Eric is so beloved.
Yep.
No one ever heard a bad thing about him. And the way it ended in the stories about how, you know, maybe Kiss did him wrong, Paul keeps trying to cut him down a little bit to be like, he's not the fucking god and infallible hero that you guys all made him out to. He's a good guy, but he had his fucking issues too. And I think he likes to like bring him down to size a little bit, and you know, doesn't want to be like known as like the bad guy all the time. So he kind of wants to put that shit out there a little.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Couple of interesting things about this album and this era. I thought this was interesting. They said when the album was released, a relatively high number of these songs were performed live on the tour.
Yeah.
And they said only Crazy Nights was retained in Hot in the Shade. Then it was dropped and then brought back later on for the Sonic Boom Over Europe tour. And they said, statistically speaking, Crazy Nights is one of the least represented albums in the entire catalog in terms of live set list, only behind Music from the Elder and Carnival of Souls. That is incredible that you have an album that went platinum and you don't touch it in your set list. Stunning to me to read that.
Yeah, we could go on and on and on about that stuff because it's ridiculous.
Of course.
But obviously Carnival of Souls gets the worst treatment. It was never, I don't think has any song been played from that? I have no idea.
Never. No.
But yeah, they don't. The one thing Paul does mention is like, because of this tour and the amount of new songs and 80s type music, they changed their philosophy the following tour and started going retro when Hot in the Shade came out.
That's right.
Changed the set list.
Yep.
And maybe that's when they were like, you know what? We got to go back to bringing some of the classics back.
Yep. And Zeus, you mentioned it earlier, how the one of the reports that you read in whether it was Circus or Hit Parade said that the new album was going to be called Who Dares Win. Mm-hmm. Who Dares Wins. And that was actually Eric Carr's idea. He said he had seen it. A wardrobe girl had a commando patch and it said Who Dares Wins It. And they kind of all agreed that it was kind of a cool title for the album, but they ended up not going with it. But it's interesting because Who Dares Wins is actually a pretty popular Crazy Nights live bootleg album title. There's a bootleg called Who Dares Wins, and it's from the 87 Crazy Nights tour. The album cover is similar to the studio album, but it's got more pink to it, less of the black and blue on it. That was kind of interesting. Another title that had been thrown around was Condemnation, which is also interesting because there's a bootleg out there called Condemnation, condom like the rubber.
Gene loves that shit.
And it's called Kiss Condemnation, the alternative Crazy Nights outtakes album, which I have, and it's fucking amazing. It's got a couple songs on here that people love, like in that bootleg environment love to talk about. Obviously Sword and Stone is the big one that people talk about. There's another one called Dial L for Love where it was most famously not found to have any vocals on it. It's on Eric Carr's Unfinished Business as an instrumental. Yeah. The Condemnation bootleg has the vocals with Gene. The song sounds like it would be maybe off his solo album, late 70s era stuff. Another song called Are You Always This Hot? with Gene singing that is terrible. I don't know what fucking era it would have ever fit in, but it's really cool. And just real quick before we get into some more stuff, just because I do have this bootleg. So it pretty much has the entire album on it, and it's the demo version of it. And some of the demos sound fucking ballsy. They were not keyboard laden out like songs. Like even the title track, Crazy Nights, sounds way different. Even Adam Mitchell talked about that, how he liked the demo because the chorus was a lot more fuller and had like a gang sound to it. So this is a really cool demo. If you're into that stuff, and if you're into collectors, look for the Crazy Nights demo stuff. A lot of cool shit on there. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I am like a vinyl geek with bootlegs and stuff.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we've done sometimes in the past where we've talked about, okay, here's a track. We did a little bit on Rock and Roll Over. Yeah. There's so much with the Crazy Nights outtakes and demos.
Oh my God, incredible.
We'll probably do an episode on that. So we're not going to get into playing some of the songs that aren't on there and, Time Traveler's Sword and so on and more. We'll save that for another episode. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And of course, Zeus's favorite, Time Traveler, came from this era.
So, Tom, it's a good time as ever. Let's get into the tracks. Here's a little song for everybody out there. Here it goes.
Crazy, Crazy Nights.
Yeah, not Crazy Nights, Tom. Crazy.
I'm glad.
Crazy Nights.
I'm glad you brought that up. That annoys the fuck out of me, and I don't know why. I think it's because I'm so OCD. Why is the album Crazy Nights, but the song is Crazy, Crazy Nights?
So then it's not the title track.
Correct. That's right. That's right. I'm holding that against you, Paul. It's not. Paul says, I was out one night with Adam Mitchell, who I wrote with sometimes. I love reading Paul Stanley's shit. He goes, and I said, man, Crazy, Crazy Nights. That's a great title. Is it really, Paul? Like that's some creatively inventive thing. Crazy Nights. Oh, so crazy. Oh, I went and came up with a chorus. Yeah, which is you repeating the word Crazy Nights 900 times. Then he's like, I get tired of people talking about anthems because if there's an attempt at writing an anthem, it's not really heartfelt. Paul, you were trying to write an anthem. You didn't do a very good job because this song is boring. It's catchy, but it's wicked meh. It's too repetitive. You say Crazy Nights about 5 billion times in here. And I can understand why it was a hit. I can understand why the radio liked it. Very catchy, very memorable. Never was a fan of the song. Not a big one for me.
Okay. Crazy Nights, written by Paul Stanley and SIOL favorite Adam Mitchell.
That's right. Sorry, Adam. Love you, buddy. Not a fan.
The song went to number 65, Tom, on the top 100.
Okay.
Number 37, mainstream rock. But it went to number 4 in the UK, and it is fucking legendary there. And
I love it.
You heard it straight from Adam, how big that song is there. It's a huge hit.
Yep.
Adam mentioned the part where he felt that the demo was better. It had more crowd singing in the background, better than on the record, and it was Nevison's choice, not his, to not do it.
And he's right, because like I mentioned on the alternative, the demo album I have, that demo is on there. It sounds way different. It's I hate to be that guy that's like, oh, the book's better than the movie, but the demo, Adam Mitchell was right.
All right.
Yeah.
This is a trend on this album of opening with Paul Saints on. Woo!
Oh, jeez. Now I'm interested to see what you think of this because you hate Psycho Circus for many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Because the chorus is just Psycho Circuit. There's no chorus here.
Yeah.
It's just him saying these are crazy, crazy nights over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And that annoys me. I don't know if it annoys you.
Nice riff. But right off the bat, I can tell there's keyboards.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh,
right?
Yeah. You could tell it's a 1987 produced album.
I like this, though. It's got simple verses. I like the pre-chorus. The chorus, not so much.
Yeah, the pre-chorus, that's a good point you brought up. That is pretty cool. That's pretty cool, the pre-chorus.
They try to tell us that we don't belong.
Yep.
Okay. And I put right here, Tom, very Psycho Circus-like.
There you go. See, I know you, my friend. I know you.
I like Bruce's solo. Paul, and there'll be a couple of tips of the hat and throughout this album, a callback to "We Love It Loud," right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
And no one's going to change me because that's who I am.
Oh.
There's a few spoken things throughout this album.
Oh yeah.
I like Bruce's guitar fills and licks at the end. Another anthem attempt and Waterboy type lyrics. If life is a radio, turn it up to 10. Okay.
I kind of actually always liked that lyric. I thought it was so stupid, but I liked it.
But it's got those, you can do it.
Exactly.
Now,
yep.
There's a part that I want to say, and it's mentioned in here. And by the way, a favorite of ours, Toby Wright, producer of
Alice in Chains,
Jar of Flies.
That's right.
He was the assistant to Nevison on this.
Yeah.
And he talks about it, that he says, like, they try to come out. This is 87 guitar. Adam Mitchell says this too at one point about this. And he says, the thing that stays with me about recording the whole Crazy Nights record was how good Bruce played in the studio.
Incredible.
So there's something about his tone on this album. I think after listening to this album hundreds of times in the last couple of weeks, that Bruce is the unsung hero throughout this album. His guitar playing, I'm honestly, I love it on Revenge, but I might think it's better on this. I just, his guitar playing sticks out. Even on the song's not bad. The parts that I like are his little guitar fills. The tone, it's a fucking awesome tone. I'm Bruce just, and it's nothing great on this album, but he makes up for stuff that lack on this album and songs I don't like so much, but I like the guitar on it.
That is literally one of my number one notes on this entire thing. And you said it. For me, Revenge, for me personally, is Bruce's magnum opus in terms of guitar. Okay. Now, I'll be honest with you. Crazy Nights is not an album I go to very often. Spending this much time with it, getting ready for this, I was like, just like you, holy fucking Bruce Kulick.
Yeah.
This to me is by far right there with Revenge in terms of his best album as a Kiss member. In the tone on this, some people say it's thin. I like it. It's got that late 80s pop metal crunch to it.
Yep.
And it's fucking killer. And you're right. He lifts a lot of these songs that are mediocre or meh to giving him a little bit of a boost. I mean, it's another reason to love Bruce.
Fast.
Yep.
Slow. Melodic. You
Incredible.
name it, the whammy on this, I fucking love it.
Incredible.
All the shit that he does on this. I'm just, again, like I'd have to go song by song.
Yeah.
This may be his best guitar. Now, I will say this too. Look at this album. He comes in, he gets 4 writing credits. He has a lot to do with this album.
Yep.
Obviously the first album, he's going to be a little nervous with Asylum. Now he's feeling like I got something to contribute, and they use him on this album.
Yeah.
And then Revenge, where Gene and them get involved and stuff. It's one of those things like, dude, if they ever really put Eric and Bruce and got them more invested and worked as a band to do songs together, how many other great tunes they could have came up with.
Dude, that is so frustrating when you bring that up, because if Paul and Gene understood who they had in their band, you had 2 of the great musicians in 80s rock on your team, in your band. And my God, did you, I don't want to say you squandered them, because that kind of sells them short on what they did in the success that they had. But my God, if you really harnessed what those 2 guys could have brought to this band, incredible.
And it's because of egos.
That's right.
Paul and Gene, I'm over here. I'll send you the tape. Hey, Bruce, come to me. No, you go over there. Hey, Eric, come here and do a couple demos. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yep.
Just get in the fucking room and work together. And I know Gene had other projects and issues he was dealing with on the side. But Paul, you could still have said, then the 3 of us that sit in the studio, Gene, you're going to come in here and meet us at this time to this time. Like, come on. But when he's there and you use Bruce properly, he kills.
Absolutely. Couldn't
I
agree
just think
more.
the production limited Eric a little. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
Now, there's a video for this, Tom. Look at the last 3 videos and then look at these 3 videos. So look at the Asylum era. Look at the Crazy Nights era.
Yep.
Way different look. Paul, of course, has to flex. When there's millions strong, he's got to put up his biceps.
Yep.
Doing leg kicks and thinking he's David Lee Roth and spins and stuff. Bruce has got the suit.
I love that suit. I
Right?
love it. I love it.
Gene's flicking his tongue. There's a lot of moving cameras, concert footage. Paul is all animated. I think Eric looks cool. The big kiss sign.
Yep.
One kid they show one little kid in kiss makeup. Paul shakes his ass, takes his shirts off. And this is when he starts doing, throughout these videos you watch, he's got the guitar hanging over his body, but his arms are free. He's not even holding guitar. His arms are in the air, and he'll grab the mic with 2 hands and play with the mic, and the guitar's swinging. It's not the Paul Stanley rhythm guitar player singing on the mic.
And then what did we see not long after that with the Let's Put the X in Sex video? No guitar at all.
Exactly.
This is the birth of the Paul Stanley I want to be a frontman era.
Yeah, there's flames, Paul's white outfit, Eric's in jeans. Gene has got that same, like we talked about, black leather outfit that he wears throughout all this shit.
Because I can't get it off because I'm too sweaty.
This is when I became fat. Just call me Fat Gene Simmons in the 80s. That should be an SNL character. Fat Gene from the 80s. Come here, lady, and grab me a Twinkie while you're at it. But the video, there's part of it. I remember when the song came out. The video came out, heavy rotation.
Yep.
And, it's part of the era.
That's right.
Let's go to the second track.
I'll Fight Hell to Hold You. Okay. Now, here's a song that we talk about a lot in terms of bashing it, putting it at the bottom of lists or at the top of lists, depending on what the list is. As I said previously, Crazy Nights, the album, is not an album I go to often. It's just, we'll get into why, okay, near the end. But here's a song that I admittedly don't spend a lot of time listening to. And that's because Paul's vocals are ridiculous. They almost are painful. They almost make my ears twitch when I listen to this song because he's in a register that's in a different stratosphere. That being said, the verses to the song, the way the song starts in the music, the melody in the verses, I actually think there's something going on there. Okay. But the bridge is ridiculous. The chorus is a nightmare. It's laughable almost. But again, we just talked about it. One of Bruce's most unbelievable fucking solos that he's ever laid down as a Kiss guitarist. Incredible solo. But that being said, Paul just kills this song. He just kills this song and makes it borderline unlistenable for me.
Yeah. I'll Fight Hell to Hold You, written by Paul Stanley. SIOL favorite, Adam Mitchell.
And I love you, Adam. Sorry. And Bruce.
Bruce Kulick.
Yep.
Paul says, I came up with the riff. Bruce turned into a song. Bruce says he approached the riff in a whole new manner, and Paul liked it. Later, I spoke with Adam and said, hey, we were just working on a great song. I'll Fight Hell to Hold You. I went, oh, really? What's it like? Adam described it, and Bruce says, oh, cool. That's what I started with Paul. I don't know if Bruce is trying to be like, oh, really? And then they're like, he had a fight to get a writing credit, but he got it. So I don't know, but it sounds like throughout this, anytime Bruce is involved in the song, they're like, yeah, work on this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got enough from you. That's it. Fuck off. Let the grown-ups write the lyrics now.
That's exactly how I interpret these comments. And when I read that, so because we know, not know Bruce personally, I mean, we had him on the show, but because we know him as Kiss fans, he is the nicest guy. He's, hey guys, I'll fight hell to hold you. What a song. But when you read it, it's like, I went, oh, really? What's it like? Oh, cool. That's the thing I started with Paul. Now, that could be like nice guy Bruce. Like, oh, cool. That's the thing I started with Paul. Or he could be like, oh, cool. That's the thing I started with Paul. What the fuck are you doing?
Or how come he's hearing it from Adam and not Paul saying to him, hey, you know that song I'm doing? I'm working on it with Adam. I think we're going to be able to turn that into a hit. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He has to hear about it through Adam,
which
not
is
Paul?
which is
His
another great
bandmate?
observation. Right, which is another, because what we just said about keeping Bruce and Eric under wraps. Paul can't go to Bruce and be like, dude, great melody. I'm digging this. Let's turn this into something. Instead, he goes to Adam Mitchell. And like you said, then Adam tells Bruce. And Bruce is like, what?
Yeah. It's a little like we talk about this comparison a lot. It's a little bit how the band treated Don Felder. Oh, that Hotel California. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Me and Glenn Fry are going to write the lyrics to this now.
Exactly.
Oh, Victim of Love. This is great. Hey, why don't you go grab us some beer? Okay, he fucking left. Get on the Don, sing it.
Yeah, go show Kyle the tree.
Yeah. Go show Kyle the tree.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, Adam says he played on the song. Remember, he's like, I
That's
know
right.
I was on there.
Yeah.
He was talking about that.
Yes.
Right away when I hear this, I'm like, fucking keys.
Oh, yeah.
I like Bruce's guitar fills in the beginning. The pre-chorus on this song is foreshadowing to Stand.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah. Which is
Right?
another horrible song.
I know you hate it. The whole, but when all hope is lost, I'm going to be there, whatever the cost. When you feel that is the fucking whole, I'll be there, standing shit. Fucking.
Yep.
I don't mind it so much. You know, over listening to this shit over and over again, I still don't like this song, but I don't hate it as much.
That's exactly me. I can't get past the chorus, but like I said, I think the melody and the verses and what Bruce is doing guitar wise is really awesome.
Yeah. So there's another little tip of the hat Motown Paul is doing, because he is a big Motown guy. And we all know this.
Yep.
No river too deep, mountain high.
That's right. Yes. Good pickup there. Yep.
Right.
That's right.
I like the verses with the echoes. I do like echoes in some songs at the end of each first line of each verse.
Yep.
Paul's nuts are in a vice again.
Oh God.
Bruce's solo is actually pretty sweet. I put
it's incredible. Yeah.
And I don't remember that much. And then I listened to it again. I'm like, oh fuck, this is actually pretty good.
Yep.
I can't, the keyboards are killing me. I bet though. And I bet this song would have worked if fucking Michael Bolton sang this. In that
could have.
Right? I think Michael Bolton to the ladies, I'll fight hell to hold you like this.
And I think that's what I'm talking about when I say it's not a bad song. It's not, the song itself is there, but honestly, it's probably the first time I've ever said this as a Kiss fan. Paul ruins this song.
Yeah, I think the keys ruin it for Kiss. They could have made it heavier, take the keys out, and made it more guitar driven.
The octave that he's in is just ridiculous. Nobody wants to hear that.
And I do like Bruce's outro on this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
So something that I ranked recently, I think, on Joey's top 5, Casada. I now maybe it's not the top 5 worst.
I agree with you, and that's what happens when you spend extra time with a song. You're like, well, wait a minute, that's not as terrible as I thought it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, interesting to hear what you're going to say about this next one.
Bang, Bang You. Now, here we go. Guilty pleasure. It's a stupid fucking song, but it's fun and it's fucking catchy. If you're going to throw it in there with that Read My Body type shit, it is light years ahead of Read My Body in terms of song. Lyrics are stupid. I love that there's a Love Gun reference. I think that's kind of cool, going old school. I like the breakdown when it's like 1, 2, the counting. It's silly, but it's Paul. He pulls it off. He pulls this off. Okay. I don't know any other band that could really pull this off and be like, okay, this song's really cool. I want to bang, bang you, shoot you down with my love gun and count off. I like it. I'm guilty.
Bang, Bang You, written by Paul Stanley. And old friend Desmond Child returns.
There you go. Yes.
Paul says that some of those tracks sport a little just too close for kitsch for me. Oh, for me. Okay, Penelope Red.
Yeah.
But it's a fun song. It works with its place in the 80s.
He's right. Yeah, I'll give him that.
Desmond Child added, I love that one. Paul and I were always fan of the Sonny Bono song, Bang, Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down. I think that song was definitely influenced by it. I don't know about that.
I don't know that either.
Yeah. Paul says it's a classic song of boys and their toys.
Yeah, that's bad. That doesn't sound good.
Another wow opening by Paul. I like the riffs. And I'm going to say this a few times.
Yep.
There's something about Paul's delivery on this whole album, the way he's singing. And so I remember when he was talking, and I saw this, I forget what it was in what context. Paul was talking about lyrics, and it's not so much lyrics when mountains crumble to the sea, it'll still be you and me. It's not so much just that. It's lyrics and how they come out, and the consonants and vowels, and how you can carry something, and how you can hold a note, and how does it sound when you sing those words. Something may make more sense, but singing it this way with these words makes it work. Paul's delivery of these stupid, ridiculous lyrics
works. Yeah.
He can handle it, and he makes this dumb song fucking work. And it's actually a theme throughout the delivery, and not just him. Tom, I also added myself, the counting is actually funny.
Exactly. I like it. Yep.
And the way he delivers it too.
Yep.
It's another tip of the hat. I'll shoot you down with my love gun, baby. Paul's verse pre-chorus delivery is great.
Mm-hmm.
I love the pre-chorus on this. And Paul speaks, you know what I'm talking about, before that solo takes on.
We do, Paul, we don't know what you're talking about. Can you tell us? What are you talking about, Paul?
No, bang, bang you? Are you talking about making cookies together?
Yeah, right. What are we doing here?
Oh, and I like Bruce's solo. The gang chorus at the end of Bang, Bang You comes in.
Dude.
And Bruce's outro noodling, pretty
Again.
cool.
Yep.
A song that I was like, that we always use it. Okay, Paul, you're the guy that wrote Bang, Bang You.
It's true. You brought up a great point, and we'll get into that more with each song, but there's a ton of awesome gang singing, gang choruses, background gang singing, fucking great on this album. Yes. Yep.
Yes or no, no, no.
No, no, no. An absolute fucking clinic put on here by Bruce. Incredible. Now, in the past, I've always said I'm not a fan of Fast Kiss. This, to me, is the best Fast Kiss song. For me, it's better than Under the Gun. It's better than, I do like Love's a Deadly Weapon, but this, I just love. I love how it starts off with an absolutely ridiculous Eddie Van Halen style guitar solo, Eric Carr with the double bass. Gene, this is the first Gene song we got so far, and
at number 4, Tom.
That's right. That's right. And I like Gene's vocal style on this album, and it continues throughout. This song, I mean, I don't know. I think it's tremendously underrated. I mean, I'm not going to tell you it should have been a hit. I think it's a killer fucking track for the era. For 1987, if another band did something like this, it could have been huge. And that's what I said earlier about Kiss having like an authenticity problem. The problem with this album, and yes, it did go platinum, 1 million selling. None of these songs were really hits because it was Kiss. No, no, no could have been huge. Our buddies from Quarantine, Jericho, and them did a friggin' killer cover of this. Ridiculous.
And I think it brought some eyes on this.
I think you're right.
And what
I think
this
this
is
is
about, Tom, Gene's underrated 80s songs.
And this is one of them. Absolutely. Yep.
No, 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 written by Gene Simmons, Bruce Kulick getting another writing credit, and our buddy Eric Carr comes in.
Yep.
Bruce plays all the guitars on this. I'm going to read this from Behind the Mask, Gene Simmons. No, no, no is one of those car accidents. Bruce Kulick started fooling around with a lick. Whenever you plan something too much, it tends to backfire. We tried to do something really fast because those fast songs were popular at the time. The lyrics came very fast. Most of the chordal changes came from Bruce. It's not one of my favorite songs. It has that who are you trying to impress vibe in a musicality sense.
Yeah, but that's what was going on at the time, Gene. And you had a guitarist that could do it. Embrace it.
You know what I like to say? It's like, so are you still playing 50 style music after the Beatles changed music?
Right.
That's what happened. Everything's changed.
Yeah.
You're not going to be still doing doo-wop music, are you, Gene?
Yeah, you're not doing Tunnel of Love on the Crazy Nights album. No, you're not. No, no, no.
Originally called Assume the Position. and later down on all fours.
Assume the position.
Based on a Bruce lick, and Eric developed it into a song in Eric's apartment in New York.
Love it.
Sent so that Gene can finish it. Eric says he set up the double bass drum on my drum machine. I just got this feel in my head and I started coming up with this real staccato stuff for the verse. It's Bruce's favorite song because it's the fastest, ferocious thing, and it features me a lot.
Good for him.
Yeah. Love the guitar in the beginning. It has, when it picks up, a tooth and nail solo type.
Indeed. Good call.
That tooth and nail solo from George Lynch.
Yep.
A little bit different. The double bass comes in. Oh, I love these Gene down and dirty lyrics. Show me where and I'll show you how.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
It wouldn't work in today's Me Too movement. This song.
None of this whole album probably wouldn't work.
Yeah. Bruce continues the great guitar playing on this. I put the solo is fucking great. His outro is great too. Yeah, it's fast, but I don't think it's that fast in my sense. I think they did faster songs. I think I'm Alive is faster than this.
Yeah,
Under the Gun is faster than this.
That's a mess. I'm Alive is terrible.
I just love it. And I think there's that fun version of Quarantine that Chris and the gang did.
Yep.
Brought a lot of eyes on this, and people are like, shit, I didn't realize this. Oh, yeah, wow. Let me hear what Bruce did. Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So kudos to Chris and the gang. And let's continue to the next track, which is another Gene track.
Hell or High Water. This is a song that Zeus and I talk about a lot when we talk about underrated 80s Gene tracks. Just for me, an incredible groove. Bruce sounds awesome. This is one of those songs where the tone of the guitar, I think, really stands out. Again, Gene's vocals, very understated, got a great bridge, and I absolutely fucking love the chorus. I love the chorus. Eric is carrying this song too with an awesome vibe that he's got going. To me, I say it again. I mean, this is Hell or High Water is when you're talking deep cuts, you're talking deep undercover here. It's a standout track for me. I mean, I have a couple comments I'm going to say at the end of the album that I'm going to wrap up in overall, but this song, this is a favorite of mine. I'll tell you right now.
Hell or High Water by Gene Simmons and our buddy Bruce Kulick. I believe Bruce plays the bass on this. Gene says the song started with Bruce Kulick. He came up with some chord patterns I liked a lot. The title was his idea too. I wrote the lyrics and melody. Here I am, all alone. Been 2 days since you've been gone. I love that fact that Bruce worked with Gene on this song. Supposedly came up with the riff during the Asylum tour.
Yep.
And, like we said, Gene had the lyrics and Bruce had the title. Curiously, this is on the box set, which I don't get.
It's very interesting. A super deep cut. They threw it on there.
While Turn on the Night is not.
Exactly. Yep.
Gene said, I wrote the lyrics and most of the melody, but it was Bruce who initially had the point of view on this song. Mm-hmm. It has one of my favorite Bruce Kulick solos.
Yep.
I love the Bruce riff. And this is Gene's, I can't believe I'm going to say it, Gene's sexy voice.
It is. You're right.
And his delivery.
Yep.
It's that Gene lowering his, like the voice, not as deep and thick and just, I love when he does this. Then the harmony lyrics on the pre-chorus,
it's awesome. It's so good. Yep.
The chorus is awesome. It's a Kiss chorus with the gang vocals. Bruce's solo is killer on this.
Yeah.
The tone on his guitar again sticking out is amazing. Love Gene coming out of the guitar solo with "Gonna Love You," and they come back.
The gang stuff is amazing.
The callback at the end, the "Gonna Love You," come hell, hold you, and then it's just a fantastic one. And then Bruce continues to rip it on the outro.
Yep.
Again, now listen to how we're describing these songs.
You would think we're describing like a Destroyer or some like a classic album.
Yeah. And I'm going to get to that at the end.
Me too.
All right. Next up, New York, New York. No, I'm sorry. My Way. Go ahead.
My Way. One of the more polarizing Shout It Out Loudcast songs amongst the two of us. I'm a big fan of this one. The synthesizer is ridiculous. It's way, way too much, but it's 1987. It's a fun song. Like Zeus always says, it's a water boy, you can do it song. I said it earlier, and I hate to be that guy again. The demo version of this should have been the version that was on the album. The keyboards are way, way toned down on the demo version, and it allows the song to kind of be on its own. This song is wrapped up and enveloped too much in the keyboards. It's way too much. Again, it's 1987. I think it's a fun song. The chorus is bordering on the I'll fight hell to hold you kind of octave there, but he doesn't quite get there. But I really, really enjoy the verses, and I like the way Paul is singing. Although I don't want to hear really anybody other than Kenny Loggins say Danger Zone. Or Graham Bonnet, for that matter, too.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
By the way, I've been listening to that, and every time it comes on, that's the thing about an album review cruise, or even Kiss albums. Yep. After you review them, and then they go away, and you're on to something else, you're like, shit, why am I going back to this song?
That's right. Yeah, I agree.
And then all of a sudden you're like, why did I rank that song at number 7? I'm going back and I'm going to that song over everything. How's that low?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. Danger Zone is awesome.
Yeah. But My Way, I like it. It's not a go-to track for me. I think I enjoy it because I know Zeus hates it and I know Jericho loves it. Oh, you got to hear the isolated vocal track on YouTube. Like he loves that.
You know what my favorite thing is? We'll quote this and laugh amongst ourselves. We will get a text.
Oh, he's going to.
Because I love these. Like when Chris listens to the episode, no matter if he's on a plane at 2 a.m. or he wakes up at 5 a.m. or he's right after a wrestling, just whatever's in his head, he'll text us. You fucking idiots think that this fucking song is good. That song sucks.
How about the text he sent us today about the Poison episode? He goes, good Lord, it's not that bad. Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, and so we're supposed to know that he's talking about that specific part in that specific episode.
Right.
So me and you will get a chuckle.
Oh, yeah.
And he comes back to us and says, I fucking love that. Have you ever heard this isolated track?
Yes, many times, Chris. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, and Casada, you don't have to send it to us, too. We know. He's another one that does that.
Yep.
All right. My Way, written by Paul Stanley, legendary Desmond Child, and legendary Bruce Turgeon. Who? Apparently he wrote some stuff. He played in some songs with Foreigner and Lou Gramm. I don't know, some musician.
Okay.
Must be talented to be playing with those guys. So My Way. All right. We'll read this.
Lay it into us.
Paul Stanley. This is just something I came up with on the keyboards. Since I don't know how to play the keyboards, it was kind of interesting. I don't even understand that. How the fuck are you doing if you don't know how to play it?
I think he's trying to tell you, like, oh, I'm so talented. I accidentally made this song.
I think that songs like My Way are in unnecessary high keys. I was so fascinated in my own range, laughs, that it really became more of a challenge to me to see how high I could sing. There were times where if I sang any higher, dogs would run into the street.
That's true.
I like the songs on Crazy Nights. I just don't think sonically that they're everything they could have been. Now, I've heard him say in further interviews over the years that if he knew that he would have to sing these songs later on, he wouldn't have sang them so high to make his life miserable. I get that. This is another one. His fucking nuts are in a vice. There's too much keyboard. I like the verses in the pre-chorus, the Waterboy lyrics.
Yep.
Paul's nuts in the vice. The solo is pretty decent by Bruce. I can't stand the fucking chorus. And wow at Paul at the end when he starts screaming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. However, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a detour here.
Okay.
I'm like, why do I know this song? It sounds familiar, too. I remembered years ago when I looked up to laugh for something about worst videos of all time. Have you ever seen something like you clip on them?
Yeah.
There is a fucking video by a lady, I don't know if you've ever seen this, named Jan Terry.
Don't know who that is.
She probably makes fucking Roseanne Barr look thin.
Okay.
Her face looks like a combination of fucking George Costanza's mom and Sloth from the Goonies.
That is not a good look.
It's a song called Losing You.
Oh, no.
If you hear this song or see this video, you will fucking die laughing. It is the funniest thing of all time.
You realize there goes our Twitter feed now on Saturday when we drop this episode.
There is so many. You can tell this is like somebody had a couple bucks and put this together.
Yeah.
It is the most ridiculous, like, I don't know, local cable TV fucking made video.
See, now I feel bad. I don't want to make fun of big, fat, ugly Jan Terry.
Dude, at one point, she sees this guy who's supposed to be like a handsome guy or something.
Yeah.
And he's got he looks like Joey Buttafuoco with a mustache, like a Mark Gastineau buffoon with a mullet. And he's on a motorcycle, and it's parked where right underneath it says "No parking here." And they both get on the motorcycle.
How do you know this exists? Where were you? How did you see this?
It's the greatest video of all time. And it looks like they can't get any traction when she gets on the back.
Like the back shocks are bottomed out.
Fucking God, you gotta see how cheesy this guy is. And like she's like the rock star because she starts off in the limo and then gets on with her boyfriend in the fucking motorcycle. And then they go into like this club or like restaurant to eat. And when they get off the motorcycle, they're both walking, and she's walking like Jabba the Hutt. And like they pretend waving to people as though they have fans out there. You've got to see the Bill Parcells vagina gut on this person.
Oh, she got the gunt going?
The gunt, the fupa, the vagina gut.
She got the Chris Christie at the baseball game fupa going.
Oh my God. This is the worst.
It cannot be worse than Chris Christie with those white pants on sitting in the stadium.
See this video. Right. It is horrendous. It's legendary. It's legendary. Everybody go watch Jan Terry's Losing You video. And never mind how horrible the song is.
Yeah, right.
Just the reason I say this is a big keyboard that sounds like the beginning keyboards of My Way.
That is quite the connection right there.
Okay, we're going to take a 2-second break. Tom's going to see this right now. Put it on for 2 seconds.
Oh, no.
Dude, you've got to see this.
Hold on.
So, Tom, we just watched the video together.
Literally one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my entire life. And here's the thing that I can't get over. The video has 1.1 million views.
I told you.
You guys are not going to believe this when you see this.
Oh my
it
God.
Is, and go on YouTube and read the comments.
Oh, they're hilarious. Fucking hilarious. She's a cult figure.
It is unbelievable. My God. Thank you, Zeus, for entering that into my life.
Yeah. And then don't you hear the My Way fucking keys on that?
It's incredible. Oh my God.
Oh, well, let's move on from that disaster and let's go to side 2.
When your walls come down. This is saying a lot, but some of the absolutely most absurd lyrics in the history of Kiss in Kisstory, starting off with nursery rhymes, just a ridiculous song. Now, that being said, the call and answer of the bridge into the chorus before he gets into the When Your Walls Come Down, I love it because I don't understand anything the fucking band is saying to each other. But I like how he's like, and the band's like, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I have no idea what's going on here. Bruce, again, is incredible. The song is ridiculous. The best part of this song, if you can make it to the very end, is at the fade out when Paul's like, hey, kitty, kitty, hey, kitty, kitty. The song, I mean, it's a fun song, but it's quite silly.
When Your Walls Come Down, written by Paul Stanley, SIOL favorite Adam Mitchell, and Bruce Kulick.
And I love you, Adam. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
it's not a bad song. It's just it's a little nuts.
So when I told you that I read about this album coming out, and Paul had said, "Oh, it reminds me of Destroyer, some of our older stuff." When I heard the car part revving up for this,
yeah,
that's something that went to my mind when I bought this album.
Yep.
Bruce said, I remember having a couple of the verses, kind of like Van Halen, like bouncy things. Paul liked it, and we sat down and worked on it. I wasn't around when he finished the song with Adam Mitchell.
Of course. Again.
Yeah. Fuck off. Now let the grown-ups handle the song.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Kulick came up with the riff during the Asylum tour again. Paul had the chorus, and with Adam Mitchell's assistance, the song was finished. Another Paul yells, "Let's go!" to open.
Yep.
And then Bruce rips.
Bruce is incredible on this.
Fun lyrics. Again, I like Paul's delivery. You just said it. I love the gang vocals on the pre-chorus. It's like the call and answer stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
Not crazy about the chorus. Again, I said C-Cycle Circus.
Yeah.
Paul says, "Come here, baby." Aw. And then Bruce quick solo.
Yeah.
Paul's outro with the kid. Here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty.
Oh my God, it's so ridiculous.
And then he says in the New York accent, "You get so crazy."
I love it. Yep.
Ow. Bruce outro.
Yep.
A song that is forgettable, sometimes laughable. When you listen to it again, that fucking pre-chorus sticks with you. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's such a talent that Kiss has that and can do that. And they do it throughout their history.
They make earworms. They make stuff that gets
so catchy.
Yep.
Again, not too crazy about the chorus, but the song itself and the lyrics are silly, but they're fun.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into something serious now, though.
Reason to Live. So apparently Heart makes an appearance on this album with the song Reason to Live. Yikes. I mean, oof. To me, this is just a horribly transparent attempt to be of the times and to just write a song. It's 87. It's ballad time. He wrote it with Desmond Child, who is supremely talented. I just never got into it. I mean, I tried to get into it because it was Kiss, and I felt like I'm a Kiss fan. I kind of need to like this song. It's just way too syrupy and corny. I love ballads and I don't mind them. I think when they're done well, they're great, but this is rough. This is a rough one for me. Never got into it ever. And even spending some extra time with this album and giving it a more of a chance. It's melodic. It's well crafted. I'll give Desmond Child and Paul Stanley that credit, but it's just not a very good song for Kiss, in my opinion.
Reason to Live, written by Paul Stanley and the legendary Desmond Child.
Yep.
This did make it to number 64, Tom, on the Hot 100, 34 on mainstream rock.
I could see that.
Here we go. Power ballads, heavy on keyboards and production.
Yep.
Reason to Live, Paul Stanley. I wanted to have a ballad on the record, but ballads are really touchy because when you do a ballad, you have to make sure you're not wimping out. Because you write a ballad or because you write a song about relationship, that doesn't mean you have to write about being miserable and not being able to live without somebody. So we felt real good about it. Desmond Child. The song was mostly my concoction. It was more of a keyboard kind of song. Paul's contribution with the lyrics. He wrote the stuff on it that was mostly my style more than Kiss. Now, Paul says at the age of the power ballad was the only hope for airplay.
Yep. And
then he got into the video and how they got into that part. You can tell it's heavy keys.
Oh,
but I like Paul's delivery on this. It's kind of, again, I can't believe I'm saying this about a guy. It's kind of sexy.
Hey, he sounds good. Yeah.
He just, again, the pre-chorus is awesome. And I actually like the chorus. It is so, of course I like the chorus. It's Paul Stanley and Desmond Child.
Yeah.
After the first chorus of Paul saying, "But it can't be your love," and then drums hit and keyboard holds the note, and then silence. And then Paul slips back into the verse. I think that's pretty cool. Bruce's solo is cool and sexy again.
Yep.
I actually can tell Eric's drumming a little bit. He's really toned down on this album. His drumming on this song is pretty good. I love the ending of the song where Paul says, "No, it can't be your love." I think this song could have been a real sexy R&B song if somebody else in somebody else's hands.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a brilliant song, Tom. I do.
I think it's that's what I'm saying. I think it's a well-written, well-crafted pop ballad. We say this a lot, Zeus. It's a good song. It's just not a good Kiss song, whatever. I just don't. It's hard for me to express what I'm saying because I just said it's a well-crafted pop song. It's a well-written ballad. Paul sounds good. I don't know. It's too much for me I can't. It's not forever. It's too kitschy. It's too cheesy. I can't think of a better word.
Well,
I can't
for
do it.
me, I
can't do it.
I look at this stuff and I think these songs would have been great for Michael Bolton. I really do.
Totally agree.
I could totally picture it. This is his vocal performance on this. And he would rip this thing up and it'd be a huge stuff. I think it really would. Let's go to the video. So the video is interesting because Bruce is on the keyboards.
Yeah, which is weird.
Gene has got his demon-faced bass.
Interesting. Yep.
Eric has got the Chikara drums, right?
That's right. Yep.
The cymbals.
Yep.
Gene is trying to do this smoldering look thing he's doing.
Dude, that's the one thing that sticks out in my memory when I think of this video is his face staring at the camera.
Yeah, like, ooh. Ooh. And then he's doing a shoulder thing. Like,
yeah.
Like, not a wild and crazy fucking Paul shaking his shoulder, but like a stretch, like a yoga move with his shoulders and trying to do his lips all smoldering. Ooh.
Yep.
You are not a handsome man, Gene. Stop that.
No. Well, he's all right.
Yeah. The chick is fucking smoking in this.
Eloise Brody.
Yeah.
Playboy Playmate. Yep.
Yeah, fucking smoking. Especially the scenes where she's on the bed and those red fucking satin sheets.
Smoke show.
Paul's red gloves on his face.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, so Paul talks about the video. Actually, it's in the segment here from the box set.
Yep.
He talks about the power ballad and the only way you get some airplay, but then he starts getting into something. The song was well received at MTV. And the best part of making videos was always getting to choose great looking women to work with. It was a job that had to be done, and I grudgingly volunteered. First of all, if he said this shit loud, he'd be ripped apart by the people that he wants to impress.
Oh, yeah.
Eloise Brody, who shot the video, was an absolute babe and turned me on like a 100-watt bulb. There's a scene where she sets my Porsche on fire. Through clever editing, they used me getting out of my car and then editing a miniature model. It did appear as though we set a $60,000 car on fire. The only big fire was mine for Eloise.
Oh, God, Paul.
Now, okay. The other part to this is part of the lore of Kiss. Yep. And we should have talked about this a little bit in the beginning, but this is the part where Paul was calling Gene out.
Oh, yeah.
He was fed up with his shit. Like, I'm not being involved, producing 5 bands, not being there.
Yeah, you're all over the place. We're a fucking team, either be in or not.
Yeah, and you're a fucking manager for cabaret singer or whatever.
Yep.
And he's doing all this shit. So he fucking laid it out to him. And Paul said, and this is, I'm going to read this from Paul Stanley's Face the Music. And this is the part where he's saying, quitting the band was never an option for me. I also did not relish the idea of taking over the band on my own. But if Gene's reduced involvement was going to continue, I wanted to be paid and recognized for my ever-increasing responsibilities. I wasn't sure what to expect, but apparently the talk resonated with Gene, because a few days later, he approached me and handed me a Jaguar brochure. He said he wanted me to pick one out for myself. He wanted to buy me a Jag to show his appreciation for all that I've done to keep the band going. It was a nice move on his part, but I had my eye on a Porsche. When we shot the video for the second single from Crazy Nights, Reason to Live, the storyline involved a beautiful woman blowing up a car. It was a black Porsche 928. And I drove it home from the video shoot, compliments of Gene.
Good for you, Paul. Like literally no one cares. Like to him, it's kind of like with the radio chick. Oh yeah, you seen my house? Like, it's like, dude, I get it.
$60,000 Porsche. That's it.
Well, that was back in 87. It was 35. It was almost 40, 35 years ago.
I remember putting posters of Porsches and shit like that. They're worth over $100,000 when I was like fucking grade school in my wall.
Maybe Gene was like, I'll buy you a Porsche, a cheap one.
Anyway, I just remembered that story as part of it. As far as Reason to Live goes, I always enjoyed the song. It's just not one of those, it's just not one of those Kiss songs that you remember for being Kiss. I just think it's a great song.
Yeah, I hear you.
Now, let's go back to the Demon.
Good Girl Gone Bad. Another fucking fantastic Gene track on here. Awesome fucking groove. A nice moody vibe to the song. Another song with an amazing bridge and a killer chorus. You got the band with like doing the just awesome stuff. Bruce is again incredible in this. The crunch of the guitar really comes through. I love just the bounciness and like the groove of this song. It just another tremendously underrated, super, super deep cut from Gene. And he had some really, really interesting things to say in Behind the Mask about this. Talking about, the record company and writing the lyrics. He said, even the record I didn't like, talking about Crazy Nights, we became what we looked like in videos. Silly. Not as good as Bon Jovi. Not as good as Poison. Oh, Gene, how dare you? They were better versions of what we did. They were better looking guys. They were younger and thinner who wrote better songs. Then he said this, which really, I don't know if I'm reading it the wrong way or not. While we were doing it, we thought that's what you're supposed to be doing. There were very few options. We couldn't out Motorhead. We weren't as classic as Zeppelin. We couldn't really do the classic version of Kiss without Ace and Peter. So we did the best we could with what we had. Ouch, dude. Did you hear what you just said? We did the best we could with what we had. That's what a coach says when his starting quarterback is on the bench with a torn ACL. And you say, geez, we did the best with what we could. That's all we had, Dude, you're talking about fucking Bruce and Eric, man. That struck me as one of the... Gene's usually careful with his words. To me, that's a really vicious thing to say about the band at that time, I think.
The reunion has already happened.
Pretty much.
Right?
Pretty much.
So it's always talking about what's the best part of the band right now.
That's right.
So he's making it seem like, we weren't that good. Let's talk about fucking the reunion Kiss. Dude, he's saying...
That's incredible. An incredible comment.
They couldn't do the classic version without Ace and Peter. Take it what they're talking about now. We can't do the classic version with Ace and Peter because we have better people. We have Tommy and Eric.
But imagine saying we did the best we could with what we had. That means, we were stuck with Eric and Bruce, so we just came up with this album. Like, just wow.
Yeah. Like, we're not as good as Led Zeppelin, and Poison and them are kicking our ass. Like, dude, what?
First of all, right.
Fuck? Like, are you sure this is Gene?
Exactly. It's stunning. Like, first of all, you're comparing yourself against arguably the greatest rock band in the history of rock. Okay. Yeah. And then you're comparing yourself against your contemporaries that are selling 1 billion albums. There's a place where you can coexist somewhere in the middle, G. You don't have to compare yourself to the highest of the highs.
Yeah. Good Girl Gone Bad. Gene Simmons, Garrett Sigerson, and Peter Diggins. And, I think the record company president at the time was David Sigerson, who had produced the Bangles. I was living at Shannon Tweed's apartment. Dave and I sat and tossed some ideas around. We wrote lyrics together, but the melody and chordal structure came from me. I had lost my way at the time. I thought we had become a pop band. Crazy Nights was a big hit in Europe, but I never liked it. Even the record, I didn't like it. And that's when you started going off on.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is a fucking hidden gem.
Yep.
I think the riff is absolutely fucking killer.
Yep.
I love the Gene's sexy voice in this, a la Hell or High Water. I love the delivery over the guitar, and then the guitar riff comes in, and then the Bruce fucking fills come in. The chorus is cool. Oh, again, Gene does the hot. He loves the anytime.
Love that. I love that. Yep.
Right. Another little earworm for us.
Yep.
Love this line. Steaming up the window with the radio on. Just the delivery of that.
Yep.
Fuck. And then the guitar comes in. Oh my God.
Oh, it's great.
Bruce's solo is fucking killer on this. So is the outro. I just put wow.
Yeah.
This song is just killer. And I have a specific memory of this.
Okay.
By this point, I was going back to Detroit a lot. And I'll never forget my cousin Mike. Those guys were fucking loaded back there, living in Oakland County and Michigan, in the rich part of fucking where all the car developers and manufacturers and stuff live. He had a Corvette. He was in high school, flying with a convertible Corvette.
Nice.
Put this on for me. Like, I had Crazy Nuts.
Yeah.
And he wanted to impress me. Listen to this. This is my sound system. Got on the highway flying, and he played this.
Yep.
Flying in high school in a Corvette, a fucking convertible, in a red fucking convertible, playing this song.
Nice.
Bass on it. I'll never forget that.
Yep.
Never.
Nice.
Oh my God, this song rocks.
It does.
I just think this is a hidden gem. It fucking kicks ass. It's the epitome of what we say, fucking underrated Gene songs from the 80s.
Yep. Agreed.
All right. Let's turn on the night.
Turn on the night. Yeah, not a lot to say about this because you guys have been listening to our show and you know that we sing the praises of this song every minute that we can. It is anthemic. It is just an absolutely spectacularly written pop song. We say it all the time. Should have been an absolute mega hit. One of the lost gems in the Kiss catalogs in terms of being a hit. It's not on any greatest hits albums. It's not on any compilations. The song is a standout track. You don't even have to be a Kiss fan. And I wonder if Kiss fans might even like this more because they're like, oh, wow, I didn't know Kiss could make a song like this. Fucking fantastic. Yes, it has synth, but to me, I think the synth is controlled enough in the style of the song, the attitude of the song. I think it works with the synth. It's just fantastic. It's one of those fatigue-free songs for me. I love it.
Turn on the Night, written by Paul Stanley and Diane Warren. It didn't chart, but it did chart to number 41 in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Miraculously, this song is not on the box set.
It's not anywhere.
Yeah. It was ranked number 1 by Tom and Zeus from Shout It Out Loudcast, Summer Songs.
That's right. Absolutely.
Without us talking, without even mentioning it, without knowing, how do you rate summer songs? How do you do that? We both are like, oh, it's not even close.
Yep.
This song.
Yep. It's the ultimate good mood Kiss song, in my opinion.
Turn on the Night, Diane Warren. I hadn't had a lot of hits at the time, but Paul had a lot of belief in me. Paul had a good pop sensibility. Paul's a song guy. He's a good writer and he appreciates good songs. I had a lot of fun writing Turn on the Night with him. I thought it would have been a bigger hit than it turned out to be.
Yep.
Paul Stanley. I'd known Diane before she ever became Diane Warren in capital letters, laughs. When I was writing songs for Crazy Nuts, I very much wanted to write a song with her. Diane came up with the title and then we wrote it. She was a very big part of writing that song. Yeah, heavy keys, but it works. Just what a fucking groove on this song.
Oh, yeah.
Paul's lyrical delivery, again, is spectacular. What a get up and jump and have some fucking fun song this is. I'm honestly thinking, and maybe we'll have to come up with it, is there a catchier fucking Kiss chorus than this chorus? I don't know.
I off the top of my head, I can't think of anything in terms of putting a smile on your face and like upbeat party, like anthemic shit. This is it, in my opinion.
I can think of the Sourpuss, like Charlie Benante and maybe Lars and fucking.
Oh yeah,
like Turn on the Night. Oh, that's fucking real music. Like laughing at it and shit. But like thinking this is not the Kiss that they want to remember.
That's okay.
But I think of Chris. Jericho loves this song. we've had these conversations with him how many times about
Yep.
how ridiculous that this song isn't a fucking hit.
Yep.
It is so I mean, you are a fucking curmudgeon. You make Tony seem like the happiest fucking guy in the world. Tony Musalam, our buddy from Restrained. If you can't like this song,
Yep.
you are the most miserable fuck. This song makes you feel great.
Yep.
It is so catchy. Bruce's solo is fucking awesome. Like I said, Paul's on fire on this thing. And then the intro and then Bruce's solo, then the intro. Yeah. Hey, babe.
Love it.
Epitome. It's the epitome of when I say I trust Paul Stanley to create something that I will like musically more than anybody in the world. This song may be the epitome of that.
I agree.
Like, think of this stuff. Like,
Yep.
I like sometimes you hear a one-hit wonder and you're like, this is the catchiest fucking song. Oh, they must have written something close to this. And you're like, no, they've never come closer. Paul has this constantly. I mean,
The only thing I can think of that this wasn't a hit was because maybe the record company or the band thought it was too similar to Crazy Nights. So like, we already released that as a single. Let's not release another night song, anthemic song. I don't know.
the way I see this song is this song should be a top Kiss song for
Agreed.
me that Kiss fans should be battling all the time. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course you're talking about Turn on the Night. Yeah. Oh, of course. That's a
Right.
top. It is a song that you could say, you want to like Kiss? Listen to this.
Yep.
Tell me you don't like this.
Agreed.
My kid has listened to this song a few times already. And I'll be like, hey, what do you think of this song? She goes, oh, I like Turn on the Night. Like immediately was like,
Yeah.
that song is fucking catchy as all
put it
hell.
put it this way. If you're a fan of pop music, it's kind of impossible to not like this song.
And it's got a little bit of a rock to it.
Yeah,
It's
it does.
It's not too poppy.
Yep.
But it kicks ass. It is
Yep.
so incredible. I just can't fucking. The video filmed in Worcester Centrum.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if we recognize any of the people in that video now.
Oh,
Holy
geez.
shit.
Yikes. Look at that.
That's the fucking guy that used to say is happy in the video.
Hey.
Tickets, please. Tickets, please. The blonde smoke show walking around with the terrible fucking special effect graphics that look like
Oh,
somebody's high school project.
it's so 87. Yeah.
Max Headroom type fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, just Gene's got the axe bass going and the lizard bass.
Yep.
Remember that one?
Yep.
Paul's got the American flag guitar. Eric
is
with the
awesome.
Zeppelin. Eric with the Zeppelin shirt.
Imagine that.
Paul patting his ass and shaking it and
Oh,
stuff.
jeez.
And then that awful clip when all of a sudden, for no reason, they take the stage and they're now all of a sudden on top of a building and there's
Yeah,
a helicopter. It looked like fucking Godzilla like
Yeah,
special
it's-
effects.
Yeah.
The videos, I remember it being on Headbangers Ball, top
Yeah.
requested. The video is big. I can't believe this song didn't do well.
It's
It is-
amazing.
It's
Yep.
such people, critics begrudging, like, oh, little Kiss. Fucking stupid.
Yep.
Well, let's go to the last track, Tom.
Thief in the Night, continuing the trend of fucking killer kick-ass Gene deep cuts right here. Another great groove. Another song, one of the best bridges into a chorus of a song. When he gets into that thing, when he's saying it's a ritual slaying, and you got the guitar in the background going like this, they just kind of play, and then you get into that chorus, that gang chorus, like a thief in the night, and that, oh my god, the song just rips. I mean, again, another fucking song here by Gene. He gets no credit, and it's probably Paul saying fuck all those Gene songs. Which is funny because there were 3 singles released from this album. The B-side on every one of them was a Gene song. All the singles were Paul, all the B-sides were Gene. Great song. It like I said, Gene knocks out of the park. We'll get into it when we wrap up our thoughts on the album. And then, Zeus, we'll talk about this, but the great Wendy O. Williams had recorded a vicious version of this song.
Yep. Thief in the Night, written by Gene Simmons, and old friend Mitch Weissman is back.
That's right. Yep.
The guy that was in that fake Beatles fucking thing.
Beatlemania. Yep.
Yeah. Again, Wendy O. Williams recorded hers for the 1984 solo album. Now, which gets me to thinking, from Behind the Mask, Gene Simmons, Mitch Weissman, the Paul McCartney lookalike in Beatlemania, showed me a chordal piece. I liked it, suggested a few changes. The song originally written for Wendy O. Williams. She later recorded it.
Yep.
Mitch Weissman. Theme for the Night was a musical idea I totally finished. Then Gene and I wrote the lyrics. Gene had the title and the lyrical idea very much from a film noir tone. It's like a mystery, a novel kind of song.
Yes.
Now
it's a better version of Murder in High Heels.
Yeah. So now here's the other part to this I think about.
Yeah.
So he said she later recorded it. Her album came out in 84. So which made me think this was probably done about 83, 82, 83.
Yep.
This song, if you hear it, not that I don't like the way it is now, but if Gene used the demon voice,
oh my
this
God,
fits perfectly on Lick It Up. Perfectly on it.
Totally.
And that fucking imagery of wasteland and all the shit they were talking about in the videos, like all hell's breaking loose and Lick It Up and fucking Not for the Innocent. It fits perfectly in the Lick It Up area if Gene used that voice. But because he's using kind of the Gene
yep.
voice, it works on this album. The riff is great. Again, Gene with the smooth vocals, not the demon voice, which I said would work better previously. I love the pre-chorus, as you were saying.
Oh,
it's your
so
ritual
great.
slaying.
Yep.
The chorus too. It's just another fucking deep cut, a Gene gem that no one talks about. Bruce, another great solo. The tone is fantastic. Bruce, another fucking outro. That's great. Another fucking, I mean, I love these Gene songs on this album. Love them.
Yep.
And it's just a nice way to cap the end of this album, Thief in the Night. Good, nice, deep cut.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the album. Let's get to final thoughts before we start ranking these tracks.
All right. So my final thoughts on this, I mean, no surprise, we've kind of broken down all the songs. To me, couple superlatives, I guess I will say. This, other than Revenge, because Revenge for me personally is the holy grail of non-makeup Kiss. This is by far Gene's best and Bruce's best non-makeup album. It's not even close, in my opinion, as a Kiss fan. That being said, I also think that this is unquestionably Paul's worst non-makeup Kiss album. It's by far, it's not even close. So I think this is a really, really interesting album, and I'm wondering if that is the reason why nothing is played on tour. That I think even Paul knows, I can't really sing these songs at all because they're in a register that's in the stratosphere. And every single one of these Gene songs is the deepest of deep cuts. They're nowhere to be found. You find them on this album, and that's pretty much it. I think it's a spectacularly underrated album because when you think of the 80s and Kiss, you think of Paul Stanley, and this is a weak Paul album. And I think that's why this album flies under the radar for a lot of Kiss fans. The Paul songs that are popular, they're very mediocre. They're not Tears Are Falling and not Who Wants to Be Lonely. They're not those songs from Asylum. It's not Heaven's on Fire. It's a very mediocre Paul album, and I think that's why it kind of goes under the radar because nobody was paying attention to Gene in the 80s. I love it. I'm a fan of this album big time. And listening to this in preparation for this episode, I was surprised how much I really, really enjoyed it.
Tom, for me, this album was a little bit nostalgic. I remember when it came out. I remember dying this. I remember listening to this nonstop. Like you, I gravitated to the Gene tracks. We'll see when we do the rankings and stuff. Yeah, I agree with you. Gene and Bruce really stick out.
Yep.
It's hard, though, because of how much I think Turn on the Night is such an incredible song to give Paul too much shit. But I think this whole album as a whole should be celebrated.
Agreed.
When I think of the albums that people are like, oh, this is like a cult status, like Unmasked has a cult status. Asylum has a cult status. I'm not sure about Crazy Nights. I think Crazy Nights gets a lot of shit as being like fucking a lot of the old school Kiss fans hated album. That and Hot in the Shade.
You know what I think this album suffers from? I think this album suffers from one of the worst things that it could be as a Kiss album. This gets a big meh from a lot of Kiss fans. There's no passion behind it. It's not Hot in the Shade where me and you will go to the wall to defend it while people say it's terrible. It's not Lick It Up. It's not Asylum where you have a ton of people who, oh, I love that era. You never hear anybody talk about this album. It's very, oh yeah, Crazy Nights. There's no passion behind it, loving it or hating it. It just exists. And I think that's the worst thing you could be as a Kiss album. Music from the Elder is huge in the Kiss world because of the polarization it has. Same with Unmasked. This, it's just there.
Yeah. And that's too bad.
It is.
Tom, let's rank these songs.
Let's do it.
Number 11. You want to start or should I?
You can go first this time.
I'll Fight Hell to Hold You.
Yes, agreed. Same thing.
Number 10. My Way.
Oh, okay. I got Reason to Live at 10.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah, sorry.
Number 9. Now we're at the I like these songs.
Yep.
Bang, Bang You.
Oh, I got Crazy Nights at 9. I'm sorry, Crazy Nights at 9.
Did you just say super duper crazy
super
fresh?
Crazy stupid?
Bam! Number 8, Crazy Nights. Oh, Crazy Nights.
Get it right. Number 8 for me, When Your Walls Come Down.
Number 7 for me, When Your Walls Come Down.
Number 7 for me, My Way.
Tom, we've each done 5 songs.
Yep.
None of them have G in them.
I was going to save that for the end, but I like the observation this far.
See where we are?
I do.
Well, that's going to change here. Number 6, Thief in the Night.
Ooh. I have number 6, Bang Bang You.
Okay. Number 5 for me, No, No, No.
That's my number 5.
Number 4 for me, Reason to Live.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have Thief in the Night at 4. And we're going to have the same top 3. I love it.
Number 3, Hell or High Water.
Oh, okay. I got Good Girl Gone Bad at 3.
Number 2, Good Girl Gone Bad.
Yep. And Hell or High Water is my 2. Could have been reversed, but yep. And then, of course,
number 1, Turn On the Night.
By far. Yep. So let's look at that top 5. You got number 1 as a Paul Stanley song. For me, 2 through 5, the next 4 are all Gene songs. The bottom of the album is all Paul for me.
I have in the top 6, only 2 are Paul's.
Yeah. It's a bad Paul album. It really is. I'm sorry. And it's a spectacular Gene album.
I mean, all of Gene's, the lowest Gene song is number 6.
Yeah. The lowest Gene for me, I have Gene at 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yep.
So underrated. Underrated.
It is. I agree. Yep.
All right, Tom. What we do next is we compare this to the previous albums reviewed. We have reviewed so far Kiss, the debut, Dress to Kill, Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun, Ace Frehley, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Unmasked, Music from the Elder, Creatures of the Night, Animalize, Asylum, now Crazy Nights, Hot in the Shade, Revenge, Cycle Circus, and Monster. Oof. All right. You want to read your top 5? Where are you putting this for an album cover?
Yes, my top 5 covers right now. Number 5, Ace Frehley. Number 4, Gene Simmons. Number 3, Creatures of the Night. 2, Rock and Roll Over. Number 1, Love Gun. I fucking hate this cover for Crazy Nights. It's ridiculous. It's terrible. It's really bad. I can't believe I'm saying this, but for Christ's sake, at least Monster has them in their makeup, and it's a terrible album too, but I'm going to put it right above Animalize. Crazy Nights is going to be second to last. I got Animalize at the bottom, then Crazy Nights, then Monster.
Okay. So that's number 16 for you.
Yes.
All right. So my top 5 is Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun, Gene Simmons, Dress to Kill, Creatures of the Night. I am putting Crazy Nights. Right underneath Asylum at number 10.
Okay. And you have yours above Monster. Okay.
Above Monster. Yes.
Okay. You like that thong, huh? You giving credit to the back cover?
I like the 4 faces. I like that it's a little bit different. Yeah. I'm not going to punish them too much. The classic Kiss makeup albums, it's not going to go over that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I look at, is Asylum more iconic for me than Crazy Nights cover? I think it is.
Yeah,
because of the lipstick and the blue shade, and plus it's so of the time.
Yep.
So I'm going Crazy Nights as the 10th so far for us.
Okay.
Now comes the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
Album rank list overall, Tom.
Yep.
You want to read your top 5?
Yep. My top 5 right now at number 5, Rock and Roll Over. Number 4, Kiss Debut. Number 3, Revenge. Number 2, Dress to Kill. Number 1, Love Gun. I didn't think I would rank this where I'm ranking it when we first started this, but I like this more than Asylum. I never thought I'd say that, but I like this more. I found myself enjoying this. It's a fun friggin' album. It's a fun album, and the Gene songs are just too damn good for me. I am putting this at number 9, under Hot in the Shade and above Asylum.
Wow.
So it's right in the middle. Yeah. I'm listening to it. I finally gave it its due. I love Asylum, but there's a couple skippers on there. There's a couple skippers on Crazy Nights, but the Gene tracks are just standouts for me. So I got it at number 9 behind Hot in the Shade.
Well, Tom, I think I realized I've been reading them backwards. You went from 5 to 1. I've been 1 to 5, but that's all right.
Sorry.
That's all right. Our listeners can pick up on it. I'm going to go with, I'll tell you, my top 5 is number 1 is Rock and Roll Over. Number 2 is Creatures of the Night. Number 3 is Kiss, the debut. Number 4 is Revenge. Number 5 is Love Gun. Where am I putting this fucking album? All right. I am going to do almost something similar to you, but one better. I am putting Crazy Nights.
Don't do it.
Stop. Under Dress to Kill, which was number 7. I'm going to make this number 8 and just above Hot in the Shade.
What?
Yeah. Even though I love Hot in the Shade.
Crazy Nights better than Hot in the Shade.
Hot in the Shade has Hot in the Shade
goodness.
Has Boomerang. It has Betrayed.
Yeah, but
it also has
Read My Body.
Prisoner of Love, Read My Body, versus the 2 songs which actually have grown on me, believe it or not, My Way and I'll Fight Hell.
But it's got that Paul Stanley trifecta on Hot in the Shade.
I know, and I love it. But those trifectas, I don't know right now if I can say that You Love Me to Hate You, King of Hearts, and Silver Spoon. I think I would rather hear Turn on the Night, Good Girl Gone Bad, and Hell or High Water. I really do.
That's fair enough. I'll give you that.
And Turn on the Night's the best of all those songs by far.
Yeah. No, you're right. Hot in the Shade, for some people, we talk about this all the time. It suffers from the 15 songs, but I just love Hot in the Shade.
Oh, I agree with you. I think it's vastly underrated because it's got a lot of really good songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going Crazy Nights as number 8. I did not anticipate me having it this high. Yeah. And I know the first thing that anybody's going to ask me to look at my list and be like, dude, you have all these songs. You have Crazy Nights, Hot in the Shade, Music from the Elder, higher than Aces.
Dude.
Yes, I do.
I have Crazy Nights higher than Creatures of the Night and Ace Frehley. People are going to be like,
Frehley.
Yeah, fuck those albums.
Like, I can like classic Kiss and 80s Kiss.
That's right.
You can carry 2 thoughts in your head.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, I must like all the classic albums better than anything they ever did.
Yep.
This is the whole reason why we love Kiss. I honestly feel like anybody could take this album and be like, this is a great album. Listen to this.
Yep.
And
Agreed.
the fact that Kiss can pull out a great album in 1987 and in 1977, you gotta tip the hat and say, wow.
That's right.
Well, that was epic. And Tom, it's time for this question of the week.
And our question of the week is brought to us by a company who our good buddy and Patreon supporter Joe Decker is part of. Yeah, Fusion Tech. Fusion Tech Data and Electric. They are a recognized communications contractor specializing in the construction, splicing, testing, and documentation of all types of fiber optic networks. Along with that, Fusion Tech Electric can service all your electrical construction needs, commercial, industrial, and utility, as well as electrical substation work and all UPS and DC power plant installation. Fusion Tech currently operates throughout the 5 boroughs of New York City, as well as New Jersey and the tri-state area, providing union labor with IBEW Local 3 in New York City and IBEW Local 164 and Local 102 in New Jersey. For more information about Fusion Tech, please visit fusiontech-llc.com or call them at 973-650-1357.
Yeah, Fusion Tech.
And our question of the week comes from another good friend of the show and Patreon supporter and friend, the great Jim Riley. Yeah, Jim. He says, for the hell of it, what is your favorite nickname you have mentioned on the show? Is it Pandemic Paul, Stockbroker Simmons, Cheater Chris, or Fake Fraley?
How about the Ripper?
Oh, come on. Let's stick to band members.
All right. I will tell you, as I mentioned earlier, I was hanging out with Mike Shue.
Yeah.
From the Pike, and WAAF, the 2 radio shows, and from the podcast, Long May You Young. He said to me at one point today, what's that guy you did like that comedic thing about Paul? What's that thing you did? I fucking died laughing when I first heard that. I go, Pandemic Paul? He goes, yes, that character. I'm like, well, it's not really a character. Well, yeah, it is a character.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Pandemic Paul. Everybody knows. Fucking Jericho loves it. Actually, Paul, you didn't hear that. Casada loves it.
Yeah.
Everybody I know that knows it loves it.
Yeah. It's Pandemic Paul. Now, that being said, nothing is more fun than being like, yeah, Cheetah Chris, yeah, fake A's, fake Freely, like shouting that out. That's funny. Yeah. But in terms of like a character name, it's Pandemic Paul by far.
I like doing Ace Frehley.
That is slowly rising for me in terms of, and it's FRAH-LEY.
Yeah. And the other one is a good one that wasn't mentioned though. Private Cusano.
Private Cusano is a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah.
Lots of good names here. But Jim, we love you, buddy. Thank you for the question, and thank you for all you do for the show. You're a big fan and a good friend, and we thank you for your support, Jim. So thanks for the question.
Love Jim Riley. Great guy.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, Tom, where can people find us?
You can find us on our spectacular new website. We're very proud of that. ShoutItOutLoudcast.com. You can go there for all your Shout It Out Loudcast needs, all your ARC album review crew, and Zeppelin Chronicles, which that new one for Zeppelin 2 just dropped. You can check out all of our rankings, all of our episodes. You can comment. You can send us direct messages through the website, which we love. We've gotten a few of those. We read them during feedback. So please go on there. You can buy some merch. You want some Shout Out Loudcast stuff? Click on the merch link. Boom, you're right there. You can check out all of our other friends, other links. It's a great website. We put a lot of work into it. So check it out. Have some fun with it. And of course, you can also use our email, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Please send us emails, questions, comments, all that good stuff, feedback, whatever. If you don't want your email read during the show, just please be specific about that, because sometimes we do read them during the show. Sometimes people like to keep their comments private, and we respect that. So that's cool. And of course, social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, are very active on all those. You can comment, tag, get involved, do whatever. Try not to have a 3-day conversation on our Twitter page that is going to result in 93 notifications. We love you guys. We do. But, we're going to be a little bitchy here for a minute. It gets a little crazy when it's like, yeah, great song. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, when did you buy that album? Yeah, I bought. Oh, yeah, me too. Next thing you know, I open up Twitter, 9,000 things of just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
We love you guys, but we're bitching.
Yeah. I love getting tagged in fucking a million polls that are about shit that we just did from other people. Wonderful.
Who don't listen to the show.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thanks for taking our ideas and making polls of them. And they, wow, we have all these friends now. Wonderful. Anyway. Anyway, Tom, people can DM us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We like those. We do get back to you as much as we can, but feel free to reach out. We always enjoy them. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. As we say, our next dip is 600. We're almost there. So keep pushing it. Get us to 600. And then I'll be nagging you for 7, and then 8, and then 1,000, and 2,000. And then we keep going. Anyway, you can give us one of those 5-star child reviews on Apple iTunes, on Spotify, on podchaser.com, on Good Pods. That's another good one out there now. If you want to listen to those, Good Pods is another good place to find us. On wherever you can, give us a 5-star child review, even on Facebook. So whatever you do, we really appreciate those. And I think we actually got one, Tom. And we did just get a new one, Tom. And let's read this one.
Okay, what do we got?
What do we got there?
What do we got?
And this one says, best Kiss podcast ever, with a bunch of H's. So I'm wondering if it's a Bostonian. Now, I have been part of the Kiss Army for over 30 years, and I recently found this podcast, and all my Kiss dreams have been fulfilled. Tom and Zeus crack me up every time, and I love the Shout It Out Loudcast community so much. This can't be right.
This can't be real, dude. Keep going. Read it.
I'm a fat corn farmer.
A fat what?
Corn farmer.
Corn farmer?
From Iowa. And this podcast brings a smile so big to my face that my 5 chins turn into 20. Peace out, Girl Scout. From Baby Sam the Man.
Hey, whether that's real or not, I love it. Thank you for the 5-star review, but you're a fat corn farmer from Iowa. Okay.
Tom, it reminds me of someone, I think Super 70s guy on Twitter put up the photo of those 2 fat twins on the motorcycles.
They were on their way to Creatures Fest.
Yeah, so
I saw it. Fantastic.
And it became the first podcasters in there. Yeah,
Sam the Bam Bam Man, whatever the fuck it was.
Baby Sam the Man.
Oh God, I love it. Well, thank you for that, because that's fantastic.
Thanks for giving us the extra details of saying you're a fat corn farmer.
I love it. Okay, thank you.
Oh, well, keep those coming. We love the reviews. We really appreciate it. Keep that 5-star child review streak going. Thank you, guys. Now, Tom, also, I like to repeat the website and the email. Our email is shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. The website is shoutitoutloudcast.com. Shoutitoutloudcast.com. Again, as we always say, you can get merch there. You can look at our recent rankings, this ranking, the Zeppelin rankings, where our albums are. Feel free to comment on it. That's what it's there for. That's why we put the effort in there, so you guys can look at this stuff and get involved. We always appreciate it. So we thank you for that. And Tom, we always like to end with famous last words.
Oh, yeah. Hands up reach for the sky. I'll treat you good because I'm a bad guy. If love's a crime, I've got 100 schemes. I'll be the villain in your book of dreams. Ooh, I'm a bad guy. Ooh, I'm a bad guy. I'm a villain.
Ooh, bad boys.
Ooh, bad boy. I got my blue thong. Ooh, bad boy thong. Ooh.
You say, I want to wait until I'm really sure. And I want a love to last forevermore. And I've got my pride. I've got my dignity. Well, you'll swallow everything when you're with me.
That's a pickup line we'll be using at Creatures Fest.
Yes. At the buffet.
I'll be swallowing that sub.
You got any grinders here? Would everybody stand back so I can take a photo? And please, I'm going to be in the black room and leaving a watermark cross mark on every photo for you to enjoy.
For your enjoyment.
Sorry, I dropped some fucking sauce on your fucking photos. Tom, thank you. Kiss Army, thank you. Loudcasters, thank you.
Guys, you're the best. Thank you so much. Can't wait to hear what people think about Crazy Nights. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of differing opinions on this, so we can't wait to hear it. Thank you. And Zeus, as always, my friend, thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
The problem is I can't remember the things I did when I was loaded.